The Alrighty. So, I would rather uh, wait for Mato to show up, but it doesn't look like they're online, unfortunately. I really hope they're not going to have me redo everything, but I'll wait like a few minutes. Faff about on my phone. Bro, if I really did take like 30 minutes to eat my food. Yeah, this is gonna be a very chill stream, so I don't feel the need. The need to try this hard. Not much of it. I feel like I can afford to wait. I swear, like, the worst tweets ever are the ones that hit. Show me fewer posts from that guy. First thing I see when I open Twitter is two people posed fans trying to dunk on the one gotcha game I like. You know, I'd love to make it like a Twitter browsing stream, but I don't know. I don't want people seeing my Twitter profile. Well, I don't assume that Mato is coming after all. They're probably just like AFK or something. I'll faff about just a little bit more. Just one more minute. No, never mind. The 5-minute break is done. Darn it. So to get started, I've seen this tier list going around on Twitter where people will talk about what characters they want to main in Crossworlds. This one is mine, but I think I'm going to rework it a little bit. I feel like this isn't descriptive enough. There needs to be... Well, actually, no. It means I get to talk about it. Actually, yeah, it gives me more fuel for yapping, and that's what these Zatsu streams are all about, so I will get started now. Ah, dang. Yeah, they're def AFK. In any case, see if I can move my microphone a little closer. I need a microphone stand. This sucks. Anyway, we're gonna start with just go from left to right, from top left to bottom right. So, Sonic, I love him. He my goat. He my king. Make sure the actually looks right. Does it show the cursor? It seems to. Okay. So he my goat. I love him, but I'm gonna put him in on occasion. And while I could have made another tier for that, I did see somebody echo my thoughts for when I play Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing Transformed, or I'll just call it Transformed from here on. And that is that you get to... Their tier was that they'll play as a certain character when they're in the mood for it, because they get to play as this character very often. Whatever that individual character may be, and it's usually, these three. Well, these four. Sonic, Tails, Amy, and Knuckles. And perhaps someone else. And with Sonic, it's the same thing. I had been thinking that a lot with Transformed. I actually played as Metal Sonic a lot until I unlocked Ages, and then wanted to try Ages. Because what those two have in common is I don't get to play as them very often. There are games where you can play as Metal Sonic, but like official games, I think there's only one? I know you can play as him in multiplayer Sonic Adventure 2. But I'm talking like mainline games, main stories. And I don't know of many where you can play as this guy. That's why I mained him. And why I would never play as Sonic, because I get to play as him all the time in every game. I like him, don't get me wrong, I adore him. But I don't get to play as others, so I wanted to kind of like sit him on the bench for a little bit. So with Sonic, he's going to be in on occasion. Because, I want to take the opportunity that the mainline games just don't give me very much. With Tails, it's going to be the same thing. He's good. I mean, I like him as a character, as a design. He's, likable. A little too sassy for my tastes lately, but, that's fine. But he is very much an on-occasion character, because I know that I get to play as him in not every game, but several other games. It's not something I would say is reliable, but he is there, and often there's the option. So, for Tails, it's the same reason. I like him, but I like other characters too. With Amy has begun to grow on me. Like, I'm going to be going off on tangents, so I'm just going to say that now. Amy has begun growing on me. She's... I'll disable auto suspensions on this tab. Has begun to grow on me. She's a very likable character. I used to actually very much dislike Amy. I thought she was kind of annoying and weird and a creepy stalker. But that was my poor reading comprehension, not knowing the good things about Amy, and that's that she's every bit of a hero as Sonic is. If not, perhaps even a bit more so, because she's a little more willing to consistently offer that pacifist option and route, whereas Sonic is quicker to jump into a fight. The Sonic, it depends, but sometimes he really lets the fists fly first before the questions. Whereas with Amy, it's violence is a last resort. So I've grown to like Amy, but it's still going to be on occasion. Because I might move her up for that reason, but for now she's going to stay in the on occasion tier. Because like I said, I get to play as her in some games already. Not all the time, not every time. In fact, actually a bit rarely, but the option is there. Knuckles, I'm torn. Now, you do get to play as Knuckles in some games, but I think he's actually one of the less reliable characters when it comes to making playable appearances. And what's more is that if nothing else, if you want to play, say, Amy, you can just download a mod for, I don't know, Sonic Forces, Sonic Frontiers, that swaps Sonic out with Amy, and it feels convincing enough, if a bit odd. But if you do the same thing with Knuckles, it feels like you're missing something. So, for Knuckles, and by extension a bit of Tails, his appearances have more weight to them. His playable appearances have more weight to them, because you get to really play as Knuckles and do all the things that are special to Knuckles. Climb walls, glide, punch, that sort of thing. He doesn't appear as often, so even though I'm not going to play as him very often, well, he's going to be on occasion. But I want to move him at least to the top. Because I do want to take at least a few opportunities to play as Knuckles. Even though, admittedly, I'm going to stick... At the end of it all, this whole thing is pointless, because I'm going to stick to one character so hard, they practically fuse into me, but, you know, we're just doing this for fun. But Knuckles is going to be at the top of on occasion, because I do want to savor some opportunities to play as Knuckles. Again, he's just not playable very often in the main games. Cream, I'll be real, I'm gonna put her in the bottom tier. Not the bottom tier, but on next to bottom tier. Not because I hate her. I mean, some of this is just for dramatic effect. Not because I hate her. I don't have a problem with Cream in any which way. It'd be nice if they used vanilla more often, though. And the game's like, I don't know. It'd be kind of funny seeing one of the very few adult characters driving a car. But in any case, Cream is going to go here because she's not really a character I'm particularly attached to. I'm not as familiar with the games she's been in. She was in Dream Team. I couldn't play that. She was in Sonic Advance. I have not played those. She was in Heroes. I liked her in Heroes. You know, she was nice, but that was the one game I got to play her in. Play as Cream in, and I don't know, I just never really got that attached to her. I think I see the appeal, but I'm just not... She's not a character I would say is a favorite of mine. She's one I can enjoy seeing, especially in the comics, but, you know, not much more than that. So she's going to go in the flower wilting tier. The TSPMO. Actually, I should read. No. Let's just keep it that way. I kind of want to name it TSPMO, but like, I don't want to lean too hard on Zoomer humor. Big is also going to go in the wilting flower tier because, oh, look at me. Streaming this game all to myself. Oh, hi, Hunter's World Gaming. Do I look like I need your power? It's been a while. How are you? I hope you're doing well. What do you think about these characters? Which ones are you looking forward to maining in Crossworlds? Big is going to go in the wilting flower tier. Because again, I don't really follow with Big that much. He's nice. I like him. He's a fun character. I have zero complaints about him. Like, I get that his fishing playstyle was not very pleasant in Adventure. But even when fans were complaining about it, it was stuff that happened a long time ago and that they should have left behind a long time ago. If you've ever seen memes about Sonic Adventure fans, about Sonic fans just hating Big in the 2000s, those are very valid in the sense that they're accurate, but the feelings themselves, I think, were unreasonable because it was a long time ago. So I don't think there's any reason to hate Big. Hating Big is like getting mad about puppies. It's like, who hurt you? Why are you like this? Big, I think, is just fine. But I'm still going to put him here just because I haven't really gotten attached to the character any which way. He's fun, but he's not really that interesting to me personally. And he doesn't make enough appearances for me to really be sold on the character. He's good. He's very good if you like simple characters. If you like simple, straightforward characters that like could have their own slice of life anime, those are good, by all means. But for me, that's just Big just isn't quite it. Now, Espio. I missed you. I missed you. And you? And you? Because I didn't play Team Sonic Racing, and I don't know why he got paired with these two. It was so bizarre, but in any case, I missed you three. But we're gonna stay focused. Starting with Espio, I'm not that attached to Espio specifically only, but I do like him as a member of the group. I do like the Chaotix a lot. He's very much okay. He's the great like Tsukomi or straight man type character to Charmy and Vector, who are both like the comedy type members of the group. Espio's straightforward, he's goal oriented, he's strict, he's disciplined, he's good at what he does. He's just a really cool character, and I've heard some people say that Espio is everything Shadow was supposed to be. I'm not sure if I would agree with that. With Shadow, they want him to be like the past embodied trauma, my Lemuria, that sort of thing. Espio is a little different. His nuances, I think, do set him aside. He's not just Shadow. He's a mysterious ninja, an assassin of the night, all that stuff, you know? He's a fun, cool character that I would love Sega to use more. In fact, I'd love them to do that with all of these characters, and I know somebody can tell me, oh, they're using them now. I mean in the mainline game. Not in a racing game, not in a tennis game, not in an Olympics game, a mainline title. Because a lot of people have been saying that like Silver is potential man embodied. If you know that potential man meme, you know, all the things something could be but never is. They've been saying that Silver is potential man embodied for the series, but really, a lot of these characters are, and Espio is no different if you ask me. Like, maybe it's a bit limited, but there's fun stuff you could do with Espio. He's cool, he's fun, he sounds interesting. Both of his voice actors have been great, if you ask me. And we don't get to see him often, but when we do, I like it. He's cool in the comics. He's fun in the games. Like, SBO, partially because he's never in the games, I don't think has ever been set up to fail in any way. So, SBO is going to go in the heart tier. And yeah, admittedly, I'm going to be yapping about my feelings on these characters because I want this to be a full stream. He's going to go in the heart tier because I miss him. I miss him so much. And I missed you. I missed you. And people like to hate on Charmy. They hate his guts because he's unfunny, he's loud, he's annoying, he's dumb, he's stupid. And you know what? They can all go kick rocks because they don't know the goat when they see one. Yeah, sure, he's dumb and annoying. That's his whole point. But he's fun. Like, there are children in the series. Yeah, I'm going to expect one of them to act like an iPad kid. I'm going to be upset if there isn't at least one that doesn't act like an iPad kid. Charmy is that iPad kid. And you know what I think about iPad kids? They're one of the funniest creatures alive on this planet. Like, I don't like children. I actually kind of don't really get along with them at all. It's why I'm really glad I don't have to babysit. Because I don't have the patience to babysit. But when you see them doing their own thing, like their Fortnite dances and shouting their goofy Instagram Zoomer TikTok slang and laughing at Tung Tung Sahur, it's, you know, that old saying is true. Kids really do say the darndest things, and it's kind of just funny to see them be happy and enjoy their youth. It's charming. I don't know. Maybe I could be a decent uncle. Be like, oh, haha, you kids and your tralalero tralala. I think Charmy would absolutely fuck with Italian brain rot. But I'm getting off topic. I'm going to be playing as Charmy at least a few times because I miss him. He's fun. And that's it. He's like one of those kind of slice of life characters-ish. But he fills that niche that I like that Big does not, out of just sheer pure petty preference more than anything. That is Charmy for me. He's the comedy character I like, or at least one of them. Because that brings me to the next character, Vector. Vector is also the comedy character. He's a little more serious, and I do like his... He shares something with Eggman in the sense that he can be funny and a goofball, but he can be serious, and you get to see that he's actually good at what he does. Vector's a very fun character. He's two sides of a coin, really. He's like got a bit of Charmy in him and a bit of SBO, in the sense that, you know, he's very good at this stuff. He can solve mysteries. He can fight pretty well. And he can tell jokes. He can be funny. He can shout and scream. And it's the funniest thing ever. And I miss his hero's voice. I don't remember the name of the current voice actor. I've not looked that up. But I liked the old voice actor in Heroes so much that I ended up wanting to go look him up. And I think his name is Mark Biaggi. He had the perfect Vector voice. A bit of a Bronx accent. You know, grainy, rough sounding. But, you know, still kind of something that can lean into being funny. And then they replaced him with a voice that just sounds all the way goofy. I didn't like it, but Vector is still a fun and interesting character. He looks cool, a lot cooler than he acts, but, you know, he's a good character. I like him. I miss him. I like all three of the Chaotix. I adore them. And I'm so happy they're in Crossworlds because, you know, sure. We only get to see them in a racing game, and I would like them to be in a mainline game. I think these three could have their own game. Like, if we're going to talk about potential, man, here's three of them right there. You could make a whole detective game with the Chaotix. It's right there. Sega, please do something mainline with these characters. They're right there. They have so much. Like you can just a point and click detective game. Something simple. I'll take something small. Just anything, please. Where they get to be the focus. Where the camera points at them, where they get the spotlight. In case it wasn't already very clear, I like the Chaotix a lot. Again, they're fun characters. They're simple, they're straightforward. They have potential for like actually interesting stories, and I think a wide range of them. They can be involved in serious stories because, you know, they are a detective agency, but they also do odd jobs, sometimes for free, so you can tell good comedy stories. Like, there's a lot of potential with these three. So I'm gonna savor that. When I play them, I'm gonna take my time to just savor it, especially these two, because Vector is the face of the Chaotix. If anybody of the Chaotix gets chosen, it's Vector. While Charmy and SBO gets sidelined. So for that reason, I'm going to favor these two a little more than Vector because they don't get them as much of the spotlight. So I'm going to point my spotlight at them. They're very firmly in the heart tier. Blaze, I'm going to be real. Mato's going to have my head for this. Oh, there you. Speaking of, there you are. Why are Cream and Big and Rose tier? It's the Wilting Flower tier. What did I miss? Everything. You missed the entire stream. We were actually ending just now. That is a joke. So Cream and Big in the Rose tier. Long story short, and you'll be able to see me refresh it because it's very early in the VOD. Cream and Big are in the Wilting Flower tier because I'm just not as attached to these characters. They're nice. I don't have any complaints. In fact, the Wilting Flower tier is just... I'm kind of going all of this individually. The tiers are like very general categories. The Heart and Wilting Flower are just for comedic effect. But I'm talking about my individual nuanced feelings here because I could list them. I could list them in the tier, and I'll probably rework it towards the end. But I'll talk about my individual feelings on the entries, just so that the tier list is organized, and because I want to take an opportunity to just yap about these characters for a while. Just unrestrained, so that I have content I can milk out of this. So, putting that long prefacing aside, as I know I have a habit of doing, Cream and Big, I'm just not as attached to. Again, fun characters, no complaints. They don't do anything wrong for me. Like, sure, Big's fishing and adventure was pretty unpleasant, but that was a long time ago. And let's be real, that's not really his fault. That is Sega's. But again, they don't do much for me. And if they do, or could, they are in games that I have not played. Like Cream was in the advanced games. She was in Dream Team, neither of which I could play. I could not play Dream Team. I have not played Advance. I don't know if there's any other games she's in. I think maybe she's in Sonic Battle. I have not played that either. They just don't do much for me. I'm just not attached. They're good characters. Fun, fine. If you like them, by all means, enjoy them, but they're just not my preference. Sonic in the middle. Yes, he is in the middle because he's a character I'll play as on occasion. Because I get to play as him in like every single Sonic game, you know, being the face of the franchise. Like if I'm playing Mario Party, am I going to play as Mario in Mario Party when I get to play as Mario in every other game? Or am I going to play as Rosalina because I never get to play as Rosalina in literally any other Mario game? Well, maybe not literally, but I very rarely get to play as Rosalina, and I like Rosalina a lot. Like, the decision is pretty obvious for me. I like Sonic, I do. I adore him. He's my favorite Sonic character. Basic B pick, but sure. Basic B pick, I know, but, you know, again, I don't get to play as these guys very often, so I want to savor it. Let me try and speed things up a little bit. Phoenix Wright ripoff with the Chaotix. How dare you? What do you mean ripoff? Go into detail. They're not a lawyer. They're a detective agency. And they do good again, Potential Man, the group. They could have their own game and it would be great and I would love it. I would slurp it up off the ground. I would deep throat it harder than a shadow glazer. If only it were real. Put Baze and Heart here. No! And you know why? I have no complaints about her. I don't have a problem with Blaze. I'm just not particularly attached to her. She's a cool character. She's fun. She's great. I do like her, and I think there's a lot they could do with her. But what they have done with her, and what little I have seen, I've not grown attached to. I have also not played Rush, so I haven't had the opportunity to get attached to Blaze. You know, she's cool. She's a good character. She's just not my preference. Putting the cats next to each other. The purple cat. I like it when people put these two characters together because it's just kind of funny seeing these very different characters be crammed together and seeing how they interact just because they're both purple cats. I guess Wilting Flower is more like the acceptable tier, then I guess it's fine. Yeah, it's just the characters. These tiers are on how frequently I'm going to play as these characters. A lot, like all the time, a lot, sometimes, rarely, never, and I hate them. Which I could name these tiers that, but I want to, you know, make it kind of funny. True that on Sonic, he's in every game. Yeah, exactly. I meant to make a Phoenix Wright style game with the Chaotix. I didn't call them ripoff. Oh, okay, I see what you mean. In which case, that would be Fire and Kino, and oh my gosh, Sega, please. Silver, spinoff, or Chaotix. I will take either one, but that is a hard choice. I don't think I could make that. Like, coin toss or gun to my head, I don't think I could make that choice. Like, oh, I don't know. Those would both be really good games. You need to play Rush. I know it's made by Dimps, but it's legit good. I believe you. I just haven't gotten around to it. It's a game that I'm hoping to stream someday. I've been focusing more on the console titles lately. I'm hoping I can catch up on the story of Free Riders. That way I can fully understand these three. It's funny to see Blaze and Big together. Oh, yes. That it is. It's funny whenever fan art or the comics do that. Now, Silver. You know who it is. You know where I'm putting him. Oh, where is it going to be? Where is he going? Well, there he goes, up and down. Where he stops, nobody knows, except, yes, we do, because anybody who knows anything about me or my channel or my feelings on Sonic knows that I'm gonna put him here. And in fact, I might even put these three up here. Now, it depends a little, because sometimes Silver is kind of a flying type character. And what I mean is there's like 3 different categories in some Sonic spin-off games. Like in Riders, you have 3 different types of characters. Speed, Power, and Fly. And each one has a certain ability that makes them unique and differentiates them. So like in Silver's case, he's only added because of, he was in Zero Gravity, and he's a fly type character, which means he can go through like those flying boost rings. So I might, but if I main a fly character, it's gonna be Silver, because I like Silver. I think he was underrated. I think he got a lot more hate than he ever deserved. This was in the 2000s, like when people loved calling characters whiny because they're not angry all the time. They loved hating characters unnecessarily, and Big was one of the biggest victims of that. But Silver has a lot going for him. It's not unreasonable to call him Potential Man because he just doesn't get used very much. He has a very interesting story, very open-ended origins. You could use the whole doomed future thing for a ton of things, make a whole game about him, and his gameplay style is one of the most fun I have ever seen in a video game. I know people like to say this or that, but machine gunning just random world items at somebody is the funniest thing I've ever seen and done. I love just throwing an entire UPS, the contents of a UPS truck at something. It's just defeating demons with all the contents of a postal office or other demons. If you remember Control, you know how much I adore just launching things at other things. It was the funniest thing ever. And it finally gave me, just a lot of focus to be Silver the Hedgehog. Like, and as a character, he's cool. Like, yeah, he's kind of a jerk sometimes. I won't lie. I don't like that, but they give him some edge there. That's fine. But he's like that kind of Heart of Gold character, not unlike Shadow in some ways. But in Silver, it's a lot easier to see how he's like pure of heart, because you get to see him be noble, because you get to see his thoughts on things, because you get to see him express emotions at others' struggles, because you just get more focus on him and how he thinks and feels than someone like Shadow, who just kind of makes those decisions internally, and putting aside my own bias against the character, makes these decisions internally and speeds towards things, not unlike Sonic, but there's not a lot that you get to see written, like on paper, in a script. Silver's just a little more in depth, and I think that's fun. I think that's great. Silver is genuinely one of the more interesting characters for me that I think is extremely underutilized by Sega, that they could use, and I don't blame them for it. I get it. They actually did try to give him some chances. That's why he's playable in some of the spin-off games at all. I'll get to your messages in a bit, I promise. I just need to yap about Silver before I potentially change topics. He was in, like, after 06, I don't remember when Zero Gravity released, but he was in Zero Gravity. He was playable not in the main story, just, only in free races. He was playable in a multiplayer mode for Black Knight. He was playable in all of the Olympics games that came after 06, I think. Sega, he wasn't playable in Transformed, but he was in Crossworlds at least. Sega gave him chances when they knew it was safe to do so, and unfortunately it seems he never really took off until somewhat recently, and now fans want to see him. They really changed their mind, and something that's very interesting about the Sonic fan base is you get to see them change their mind on a lot of things over the years. The Sonic fan base is a very interesting place. You get to learn a lot of things about a lot of different topics, and I really mean a lot. Like, you get to learn how hate and discrimination works by just seeing how fans are treated because they like Sonic before they've even opened their mouth. And you get to learn about musical direction, the importance of lyrics or the absence of it, how to tell a story with a fast pace that's still kind of nuanced, how not to, all these different things. And Silver is one of these examples where you get to see people change their mind on something over time. So for me, Silver is heavily underutilized. I like him a lot. I forward him. He a real one. I want him to be playable in a mainline game. Please, Sega, please. But since I can't have that, I'm going to play him in Crossworlds, and I'm going to savor it. Now, getting to your messages. So much space between Blaze and Sylvie. Don't worry. Mwah. There you go. Biggest. Biggerest. Imagine if they put Jesse Faden confirmed for Sonic Racing Crossworlds. That'd be the dumbest thing ever, but I'm so sad that the guest characters don't have voice lines or like unique rival interactions, because it'd be so funny seeing her interact with Silver. But of course, like, if we're keeping it real, Ichiban would have the most. I want Ichiban to talk to Sonic. I friendship those two. They would be the thickest of thieves together. They would be the best friends, and like immediately they would click like puzzle pieces. It would be great, and I am so sad Crossworlds does not let me see that. You are going to go in the Wilting Flower tier. TSPMO, because not really. I like Rouge. I mean, I'm kind of torn on Rouge, actually. Rouge is interesting. I don't know if I want to say she's underutilized per se, but she's very much like, oh, I don't know. I don't think it's wrong to compare her to like Black Widow. I didn't know you were a Yakuza fan. I'm not, but a friend of mine showed me stuff about Yakuza, more specifically Like a Dragon, which is Ichiban's game, and I got to see, he gave me like the spark notes, the rundown of Ichiban's story, and Ichiban goes through crazy stuff. If you want to watch the story of Like a Dragon, it's really, really, really long, like all RPGs are, but it's fire. It's really good. And Ichiban goes through an entire saga. He's a really great character. And I would encourage you to do that. Again, you don't have to, but if you ever do, just know you're in for peak. Like, honestly, the Yakuza series does deserve all of its popularity, because it's just kind of peak. And Ichiban's no exception. But Rouge is not used in a story way beyond SA2. No, not quite. Well, it's a little bit. Then again, so are many Sonic characters. Yeah. They're only now starting to fix that. Not only now. Only as of like, I think Frontiers are they starting to try and change that. Only after the movies, actually. But even before that, they were trying to use some of these characters a little more in the meta era. If you remember how Forces had a lot of them, and even in Generations, they just didn't know what to do with them, and they didn't want to spend all that money on making them playable when they knew they needed to spend that money and time on making Sonic play right. I did like AMW, some might like Yakuza. You'll adore Yakuza. I don't know what. Oh, Kiba made war. Yeah, I'm pretty confident you'll like Yakuza. Not as many cute girls as you'd like, but very interesting drama. Any one scene will immediately lock you in for how well it's written and paced. But getting back to Rouge. Rouge is a character I'm torn on. I did not like Rouge that much early on, just because I didn't really care. She was cool, I guess, when I saw her as a kid. In some of the first games I first played her in, I still miss her, like, armor from Heroes. I think that looked the best on her. But, like, she's not terribly interesting to me. And her whole obsession with jewels and such does make her feel a bit more like a comedy fodder character. Which I guess is intentional. She's meant to catch you off guard in the sense that she is a legit agent. But she's a character I won't be playing as very often because, again, I'm just not that much attached to her. But that has changed. I enjoyed her in 06. I think that was one of her best, most interesting appearances because you can see she's a very well-rounded, fleshed out character. She thinks, she feels, she ponders, she's good at her job. She falters sometimes because, of course, she's not a superhero like all of these other characters are. She doesn't have any special powers. She's just trained really well. But against some of the things that Sonic characters have to fight, yeah, sometimes she's outmatched. It's like Black Widow having to go up against an evil, I don't know, it's like Black Widow having to go up against Winter Soldier. She's just not going to win because she's outclassed. But that does make her still interesting. But the fact that she sticks around anyway does open up the potential for good storytelling. In the comics, I think they utilize this well, especially in the more slice of life kind of stories. Especially her interactions with Amy. Those are really fun. Because you get to see a more comedic side of Rouge. And beyond just, oh, I like Jules. But like, where she's kind of lax. She's very carefree. She's very confident. Sometimes a pretty bad influence on Cream. And if you ever read the IDW comics, I would encourage you to read the one that I'd have to figure out where it starts. But there's an arc that introduces evil like mob boss type character, where Amy and Rouge go to a mansion to see some chow races, and Rouge is setting the worst example for Cream, teaching her how to steal, when, where, and why to steal, making crass jokes, wants to drink alcohol in front of Cream, and the whole time Amy's telling her, can you not? It's so funny. Like, Rouge is such a funny character when she can be used in a more relaxed scenario, and when she's, used in like world-ending scenarios, she's still really fun and interesting. It depends on how she's handled, and she's kind of hit or miss for me in that regard. Like, she's fun in Prime. I actually really liked Rouge in Sonic Prime. I like her in the comics. I just didn't like her in a lot of the 2000s games outside of 06. But she's still going to be here because she's not... Actually, she might be on occasion. She might go up to the front of Wilting Flower because she is one of my favorite characters that I'm also am. Of the characters I'm very ambivalent towards, she's kind of one of the higher-ups in that. She's a lot of fun. And I would absolutely recommend you look into Rouge if you want to. Again, you don't have to. But she's, have faith that Rouge will not steer you wrong. Rouge is kind of a troubling character for Sega to use because she's an anti. She kind of is. And I think I've heard the opinion that a lot of people like to believe Shadow is like the morally gray character. But I saw a YouTube comment say that Rouge is actually more of a morally gray character than Shadow, and I agree with that because she's the one who has to get this information in the first place and has to manipulate people towards making the right decisions. She's the one that works for a government agency, or at least used to. I don't know what happened to Gunn. She's, the shady one. Shadow is the one who just has to beat up a bad guy, and it's usually some world-ending monster. There's not much morally gray stuff to that. So outside of like Sonic Prime and some stuff in the comics, Shadow's like the harsher option, but I also think he's the one that leans more towards violence, whereas Rouge, there's a lot more depth there. There's a lot more thought behind the decisions made, and a lot more finesse in what she has to do, and how she has to do it sometimes, how she has to say it. She's kind of manipulative of others, sometimes even her own friends, but sometimes in a good way, and I think that makes Rouge a very, very interesting character. Rouge does sound very fun. Having a very fleshed out... Oh, yeah. But one thing I do dislike about Rouge is their censorship. They have been censoring Rouge and giving her chest bust decreases, nerfing her boobs more and more over the years, which like I get, but I also think is really dumb because her head is like almost the size of her torso. I don't think that's something to worry about like as a kid, unless if you're playing as Rouge in a car, especially. Even if you're playing as Rouge, you're probably not going to notice her boobs bouncing very much because they're just not that big compared to her head. And like really, the series has gone so fast paced in its gameplay that I don't see how many people are going to notice or care. Unless you like deliberately stop, but if you're playing a Sonic game, it's
very unlikely that that's what you're going to want to do, especially when we live in the boost era, you know, or like the post-boost era, but it's something that still encourages you to move as fast as possible. I don't see why that's necessary to censor Rouge. And then they censored her back, and now her wings kind of stick out through it, and then it makes her wings look like it's part of her suit, and it's the whole big thing. I'm not a fan of that. I hate that. It's very dumb. Like, censorship bad is the essence of that opinion. Having a non-superhero character is not is good. It is. It is. There's a lot of variety with these characters, and I appreciate that about this series. I take it back that she's troubling to use as one of Sonic's buddies. Yeah, like she's the intel. When Tails falters in any which way, if you want to use somebody who's just magically has the intel, that's Rouge. Blaze is behind Big and Cream and Wilting Flowers. I am willing to rearrange this. These three do not have any priority. It's just when there's somebody that takes priority, I move them to the front. Oh, look into Rouge, all right. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I'll open up my favorite Buru and type Rouge the bat, if you know what I mean. I got pretty horny for Rouge when I was a kid. I mean, that's fair. I admittedly got distracted by her boobs and her ears bouncing when I was younger, too. Because back in the adventure days when this was possible, you know, you could stop and you didn't have to worry about the time limit or anything most of the time, outside of that one timed stage for Rouge. We move Blaze between Rouge and Cream. Well, you move her in your tier list, because with all due respect, this is my tier list. This is the priority of how often I'm going to play these characters. Shadow, I've complained about him so much in the past. This is not new. And I actually don't want to start because I have... No, it's okay. I just gotta, you know, set my boundaries. But I'll try and set them nicer. I actually don't want to start with Shadow because I've complained about this character so many times when I've streamed. It's not as if I'm tired. I actually really enjoy complaining. It's kind of my hobby. I actually think maybe I should be a critic of stuff. Not because I think I would give good opinions, but because it's just fun to complain. But if I start with Shadow, I will be going on. This stream will be longer by an hour. This will add an hour to the stream timer. I actually don't want to even start. Like, I want to summarize it, but I don't know how to do that right now. But if I'm going to take an attempt, I think that Shadow brings up a lot of narrative issues. He kind of brings Shadow's presence and the things that come with it, you know, like all that lore around him, kind of make a lot of inconsistencies and inequalities in the series feel very... They kind of magnify it and bring it to the forefront, I think. And it's like nobody ever notices or cares, but I see it. I see Shadow getting stuff, and like, okay, real quick, I'm gonna change it back. I've always thought that these characters have like a certain priority of which ones are gonna be used, or which one's like more likely to be used the most. Sonic at the front, of course, then Tails, then Knuckles, and it's kind of a toss-up between Amy or Knuckles. And then at the end of that, you have Shadow. If Sega ever has to decide which character is going to be playable in something, which character is going to get something nice, it kind of goes in this list of priority. You know, shift some positions around, sure. But generally these four are at the front. They choose from these four, and then Shadow's at the bottom of that list of characters that are more likely to get cool stuff. And then you have everyone else that's right behind Shadow, ranked in popularity, just waiting in line, who are unlikely to receive anything. But if they get picked, it's down that list of popularity. But with Shadow kind of being at the end of this mainline group. And like, on the one hand, I get it for Shadow fans if they weren't such jerks about their favorite character. They're so rude. They're so mean and unlikable. I cannot stand them. The glazing, the dick riding, you could search up sweaty, slutty whore, desperate for BBC, hardcore gangbang, bukkake, all of that stuff. Like the hardest core, just rancid and deranged sex dungeon. And it does not hold a candle to the dick riding a Shadow fan is capable of. And it displays on a regular basis. So that's that part of the Shadow topic done. But the next part of the Shadow topic is also that he just gets so much, well, you know, summarize, he gets so much stuff that I'd like these other characters to get. So much more focus and thought that I would like these other characters to get. The other thing that I don't like about him is I think he just doesn't vibe with me. I think I just don't vibe with him. He's mean, he's rude, he's unlikable, but the worst part about it is there was a time where, that he kind of shelved that for a little bit. I still think 06 was his best appearance, and it's something they haven't really, to my knowledge at least, visited. Now, admittedly, I have to play spin-off games, but I haven't really liked him enough in the mainline games to want to do that. A lot of the character just doesn't make sense to me. He does everything for Maria, but then he hates everybody else's guts even when they're nice to him. It's like, what made Maria special then if you can't even be nice to anybody else? He keeps relapsing. He keeps making stories about his past. He's at the same time a very repetitive character, and it's always got to be about the past, the lore. It's never the future with Shadow, and it's very aggravating. Like, he's just stuck in his past, and it's like he's a therapy patient that is not allowed to actually move forward with his life because he keeps getting chucked into bad influences and with bad therapists, and it's just very frustrating. It does actually make me feel for Shadow, if not for the fact that he's just lashing out. Now, maybe some of the things I'm saying are incorrect and wrong, but I don't like this character. And I think the worst thing about it is that he could actually be kind of likable. If you've ever seen some of those like fan-made comics and such, where he cares about Sonic, where he cares about other people, and that gives you a look at what a more complete Shadow would be like outside of 06. But we don't get to see that in the mainline games, so he's just somebody who's angry all the time, and for what? Because that's what Sega wants him to be? I could go on further. Believe me, I could. But I think that's the basics of it. Just that, and there's probably more things I'm going to remember as I go. But I'm going to try and can those for now. The basics of it are just that I don't really like this character. I don't vibe with him at all. He's well designed. His initial story was interesting. He was great in 06, but past that, I really can't bring myself to like him. I never understood the appeal. So I know that was a bit of a mouthful, might be. But now we go on to his friend, who... the self-proclaimed strongest of Eggman's robots. Strongest of Eggman's robots, who also keeps getting canned and clanked and broken and destroyed in every single fight. 2008 Lucky Star Hatsune Miku crossover. 2025 SpongeBob Hatsune Miku crossover. Vocaloid has fallen. Millions must sing. Where it at, Sega? Where's the SpongeBob outfit? Omega is... I don't like how they basically use every robot character they have as like a power scaling benchmark. They're basically sandbags, and like I get it, these characters tear through Eggman's badniks like they're nothing, but I don't know, man. These characters are hyped up to be a big deal. You can at least let them aura farm a little bit. Omega's fun in the comics. He's actually really fun. When I get to see him, which is not very often, he's kind of cool, kind of interesting. He's like a... I describe Metal Sonic as like the Terminator of the Sonic series, because Metal Sonic is like a very focused, very direct, mission-oriented, like unstoppable killer. Or at least that's probably what they wanted him to be. Omega is just some ultra, super, duper, uber death killmonger machine. And that's what's fun about Omega. I actually kind of like Omega a little bit, but not that much, because I just don't get to see him very often. It's like, use him more. I'll eventually grow to like him, but he's gonna be like, I guess, I don't know, behind Rouge. Like, I enjoy him sometimes, but not... I don't even know about this place. I almost want to put him here because, like, I kind of like him, but then how much I kind of like him also makes him disappointing for me personally, because I just don't get to see him use that often. Omega is the Worf of the Sonic universe. You know, I want to agree with that. I just don't know much about Worf, but I think he's that one Klingon from what's it called? Star Trek. Omega's just... I think Omega's underutilized. Like, even for the IDW comics, he's underutilized. And when they use him, it's just for him to get trashed. So it kind of sucks. I like Omega, but I don't like what they do with him. It's not ideal. Klingon from Star Trek: The Next Generation. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't know much about Worf. I think I remember he was like a very smart guy, but he was also kind of the brawler too. Very honor bound, built up to be strong, but gets his ass kicked off. And rip Worf. He does not deserve that. Omega isn't honor bound. He's just kill everything. But yeah, I'd say like more or less, Omega and Knuckles both share that issue in the sense that they're power scaling benchmarks, and like that's fine and all. But at the same time, it's not fine. I know this series isn't really made for power scalers, but you know, like with all how much these characters are hyped up to be cool and strong, or at least you're led to believe that, it'd be nice to see that, you know? But instead you have like Superman, and then you have everyone else who's not Superman who can handle like grunts and then aura farm off of that. And like, come on. Give them a little more. So I don't know. Omega's... I both like him, but I find myself disappointed by what Sega does with him. He's very firmly in the Wilted Flower tier. I'm not going to be playing as him very often, and I'm going to try and remind myself that this is about characters I'm going to play as, and not just Sonic characters I personally have feelings on. I'm going to place him in the Wilted Flower tier, because like, I don't know. I don't see myself playing as him very often. Jet is a fun character. I'm going to place him in the bottom of the main tier. At the back of the main tier. He's a jerk. He's such a jerk. So annoying. He's a chronic rage baiter. Power scalers, when I ask him to power scale it. Jet Whip. Okay, that would be the funniest thing ever. But it's okay because I memorized his attack pattern. Oh gosh, what would that kind of meme go like? But little did Timmy's father know that Timmy had memorized his attack pattern. You think you've beaten me enough times, father? But I've memorized all your moves. I know what you're about to do next. So much so I can read your very thoughts. Would this be enough to watch me beat brawn with brain? But Timmy's father said, nah, I'd win. Boasting higher stats and experience than stuff. Jet's a jerk. He's actually kind of annoying. I kind of fought with him. I kind of don't. He's not the most likable of the Babylon rogues. In fact, they're all just jerks. But Jet's a fun character. I still want to read this, catch up with the story free writers, but I like how Jet's just hyper focused on racing Sonic to an autistic degree. He's not even a robot. He's not even built for this. He's just a jerk. I think of him as the Chick Hicks of the Sonic universe. If you remember Chick Hicks from Cars, like Lightning McQueen's rival. And somebody who has a habit of imitating Lightning McQueen. Jet's kind of like that. He's a lot like Sonic in some ways, mirrors his own mannerisms, even his poses in some artwork. He's like also a jerk and a dirty racer, but he insists on racing again and again and again. And if you watch the Tails Tube, look up Tails Tube Jet the Hawk. It's a short video where Jet comes in to brag about all the stuff he can do and he's good at. And he's trying to like rage bait Sonic, but it's not working. And it's because it's not working that he's getting really mad and fired up. He's like, lately Jet's such a fun character. He's a jerk, but he's a funny jerk. He's like a very chilled out character. He's not a superhero. He's just a guy who's really good at racing. Like, he's a celebrity. He's not some wimp or pushover. He has his own skill set. He's practically a celebrity, even if he wasn't a criminal. Jet's a fun character. I'm going to be playing him a lot. If nothing else, at least to thank him for bringing his boards with him. But that's the extent of my feelings on Jet, I think. Wave, I don't like Wave. All of that stuff with Jet's like, you have the person who said the joke and delivered it well, and then the person who said the joke and delivered it poorly. Wave, I really don't like. It's not die in a flaming pit, but I just don't like Wave. She's mean to Tails, she's mean to everybody, and she's not that funny. Unless you look up her Japanese voice, where she actually has a lot more personality. She has a very polite, feminine, almost Ojo-sama type way of speaking. And she has the voice to match it. In Japanese, she carries a lot more personality. But in English, that kind of falls through. I'm going to put her here, because I don't really like Wave and I don't like fly type characters. But, you know, she's still fun. You might like Wave. I think you would enjoy her. I did not watch Cars. It's a fun Owen Wilson movie, I think. I'm telling you, it's subject to rearrangement. Like, I don't know, man. I don't always know my own feelings on things. But look up Japanese Wave voice. I think you'll enjoy it. Storm. I'll put him here. I'm not going to play as him that often. I don't like playing as power types. But Storm is a fun character. He's very simple, straightforward, understandable. He's like literally just the dumb loyal henchman, the character for Sonic. He's dumb, and he's actually one of the nicest of the Babylon rogues. Sort of. But he's not nice, per se. But he is funny. It's funny seeing him just wreck stuff around him. And that's all I have to say about Storm. He's fun. He's a jerk, but he's fun. Eggman. On occasion. Put him at the bottom of on occasion. Some of the things this man has done are like literally unforgivable. I kid you not, if you could look up the stuff about Bowser, Bowser has been nicer than Eggman. Eggman has committed literal war crimes, probably ended countless lives. He is lucky he gets off the hook so often as he does. But he's funny, and I like him. he just makes me laugh and smile. And every time they humanize him, even for a little bit, it's everything. It means so much. Like, there's a well of personality with Eggman just waiting to be uncovered. And I'm so glad we have the movies to do that. But I get to see him a lot. I don't get to play as him often, admittedly, but I get to see him a lot. So much so that it's good enough. I get to see him so often that I don't need to play as him. It's good enough. I'm going to put him on occasion, because he's fun, he's interesting, and with Sage around, that's opened the door to a lot to do with Eggman. Eggman being a monster is when he's the best, to be honest. I kind of agree. But Eggman's just not Eggman without those extra dimensions to him to make each one side of him have more meaning. If he was just a monster, he wouldn't be as interesting. If he was just funny, he wouldn't be as intimidating of a villain. And if he was just fleshed out and humanized, then he wouldn't be as intimidating or as funny. He has very, very different sides to him, but that's what makes him so interesting to me. When you get to occasionally see that beneath the scales of this absolute monster of a person, there is a human being in there, just buried deeply somewhere in there. But Eggman, I'm going to put him on occasion, because again, I get to see him so often that I don't need to play as him. I get to see him so often that it's good enough. Metal. Bottom of heart tier. Also when they humanize him. Exactly. It's a very delicate balance. Monster, funny guy, and human. However, I did feel like Eggman should not Carrie Eggman should not have died a heroic death. Why is that, if you don't mind me asking? I'm curious. I'm going to yap about Metal Sonic for the sake of the stream, but I'm going to be reading your message, and I'll read it out loud. I'll get to it after I'm done talking about Metal Sonic. Metal Sonic is another potential man type of character. I think, I didn't think it over and see it too much until I saw Metal Sonic fan art that went unreasonably hard and really makes it clear that there's room for a whole story of a psychological thriller of a robot programmed to believe he is someone else, yet finding out constantly he isn't, falling short and wondering why he is the way he is, or asking some deep questions, some uncomfortable questions. He's had to find out that he can't do the same things as Sonic, and even when he actually has an advantage over Sonic, like in one of the annual comics where he dipped his finger into the metal virus after seeing Sonic through a camera get infected by the metal virus. He dipped his finger into a vat of the metal virus gunk, and it just dripped off his finger. And what's more, when he was about to do it, he hesitated. He wasn't sure if he was ready for that truth, but he's so determined to beat Sonic, to be Sonic and better, that he did it anyway, even though he knew it was a bad idea. He's just that laser focused, and when it just dripped off his finger, something seemed to have broken inside of him. He just stared in awe and disbelief for a while. He was shooken down to his scary core, and they tell it so well, so efficiently and so quickly, that I think there's a lot of stuff you could do with Metal Sonic that they just don't do, that Sega just doesn't do, and even IDW writers seem like they aren't entirely sure what to do with him. But he's a fun character to play as. But he's also kind of subject to the same rule as Omega in that they're both robots, so they can afford to be trashed a lot, kicked around, broken, because they can be repaired, and just sandbags to aura farm off of. And Metal Sonic suffers from this a lot. But the reason why I'm putting him here, and if we're going to bring it back to Crossworld, is because he does something I like in Transformed, and he doesn't actually speak words. In Transformed, you get to see characters scream and shout in fear and panic and stuff. even while doing tricks, even if you're doing things right, which is a little unpleasant. But with Metal Sonic, you just hear sounds like just weird robotic warbles and such. And it's nice to not hear words shouting at me. And that's something I like about Metal Sonic as a racing game character. If you want a character that just shuts up without having to change the audio settings, that's Metal Sonic. That's a character who just stays quiet. Clams their big fat trap. That's Metal Sonic, and it's another hidden advantage I like about this character. He's just doesn't really speak, and it's kind of nice if you want something that's a little more relaxed. One thing I will say about it, though, is it's really annoying that you have a character that effectively has black sclera and red pupils, and he's like just a power scaling benchmark. Like, bro, come on. He's supposed to be intimidating. Look at those eyes. Look at them. And you're gonna give him like the petty street punk power levels? Like, really? What does that say about Metal Sonic? What does that say about Eggman's own ability to engineer his robots? The one that he trusts enough to keep using over and over. Because Kerry Eggman's whole character has been a silly take on the character, never really an empathetic view of him. When he died as a villain in Sonic 2, it felt a lot more satisfying for him. For his character, I mean. I think I agree. Sort of. That makes a lot of sense. I personally, emotionally, don't feel the same way. But I agree with... I think I see where you're coming from, and I think it's a very valid opinion. That makes a lot of sense. But I think the point is that he had kind of had a bit of an arc in Sonic 3. And him dying was him showing that he really did change, and he finally grew to accept and care about people, or at least about someone, and enough to make that ultimate sacrifice. And he really grew from, I guess, all the pain the rest of the world had caused him, because the idea is that he was blind to... He was so hurt and alone and unhappy that even when people cared about him, he didn't notice. But it wasn't until, he was hurt again in the present that he came to understand what he had been... Not only what he had been missing, but what he neglected. But I see where you're coming from. I think it's a very valid opinion. Very tiny arc inside. I wouldn't say tiny. Like, no. That's his whole thing in Sonic 3. Play LWA the game. Little Witch Academia. Characters never shut up. Pick the mute character. Her boss now never shut up. Yeah, a little bit. But it just felt like an ass pull. Kind of. That I will agree with you on. It's a little bit of a rear end pull. Especially since they, like, you think they have Shadow seemingly die, but, like, not really, then they don't, and then they had him die in the explosion, quote unquote. How you put it makes sense, but I wish the movie would have portrayed it as such. I think it did. That's what you were led to believe. Like, that's literally his speech, but I do think the movie could have done maybe a bit of a better job. I think a lot of people oversell Sonic 3. It does a lot of things right, but it doesn't do everything right. And the things people say it does really right, I think it just falls short of. Except for Eggman. Me personally, at least. Sage, I'm gonna be putting you up. She's in either or. Like, Sage is an interesting character. They did not sell her as well as I think they should have, and that's part of why I might put her a little bit below Silver. But she has an interesting character. She's kind of come to Now, I like how she's come to understand the importance of family, care about people. Her story is a little obnoxious because it's somebody offering to help, literally more or less the Superman of this world offering to help, and somebody saying, "No, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. You're stupid. You're dumb. Shut up. I ran the numbers. Actually, you can't do that. You can't do this. What are you talking about, Sage? Sonic's really good. No, he's not. Shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. But Sage, maybe we can shut yo side hole looking up. He ain't even officially in a ship with you. What do you have to say?" Still, I don't know. I'm goofing. But like she comes around eventually. She's fun and she's interesting, but how her story falls short places are just below silver for me. But I do still like her. I like the idea behind Sage. A lot of Silver fan, I've been on Sonic Twitter lately, they've been like really gassing up, glazing Silver something hard, almost like an apology for how much they have ran him through the ringer for the past, like, what, 19 years they wanted this man to suffer. No, they're apologizing now. But they're also painting Sage as a future villain for Silver to have to fight. I think that's interesting. We love Sage. We do love Sage. She's very cute. She's very not funny in my opinion, but she's a cute and funny. It's nice to see a human character in Sonic again. I kind of miss those, actually. I kind of miss them a lot. And I like her powers. I want to see the nature of her powers outside of the Starfall Islands, outside of connecting things to cyberspace, because I think this is where Sage is limited. So I'd like to see what the now lead writer of the game stories, Ian Flynn, can do with Sage now that she no longer has the tools that enabled her greatest strength. And if you remember, I don't know if you saw this, but there used to be leaks that Sage was that for Frontiers, Sonic was going to have a companion character, a ghost girl. And while she wasn't necessarily a companion character per se for the majority of the story, if it doesn't take much of a look at her, you don't have to look at her very long to see that ghost theming in Sage, especially in her white color scheme, where she still has a very round head shape, a very flowy dress, and when you see her fly around, you get to see that, yeah, she kind of looks like a little ghost. And she even has similar powers. She can summon things from, quote unquote, beyond the grave. She can trap people in a sort of like metaphorical allegory, whatever, for the afterlife being cyberspace. She can possess stuff and make them aggressive, as in the Titans. Sage is in a lot of ways a very interesting character because she's meant to, I think, more meant to be like an AI that can hack literally anything. But I like how you can kind of draw a lot of similarities between her and the abilities and themes of Ghosts. She still has like a very AI focused character, learning to feel, learning to be human, and what that means. But as we finally get to have a character that's a lot like a ghost in a lot of ways, and I kind of fought with that. So Sage has been a very interesting character. I heard she's in the IDW comics. I haven't read up to that point. I'm reading all the other stuff, the side stuff that I missed. But I'm looking forward to seeing her in the IDW comics. So I'm going to be playing as her a lot in Crossworlds because I do like Sage. She's very interesting. And it's also nice that her voice is very quiet, so if she's saying, yes, good, great, when she's jumping over a ramp, she's not going to be, shouting her ear off about it. That one comic where Sage is really happy to meet her Oshi Miku, I loved that one. That one was so funny. I love the shirt with Miku mewing. That one was so funny. It all comes back to your ghost fetish. Okay, well, to be fair, I don't fetishize Sage because I'm not much of a lolicon. I pretend to be a lolicon when Sage is around, but that's just me playing it up for the bit. But like, I don't lust after Sage unless she's drawn with like a gigantic Giga Gyat. Then Sage is. Then I goon for Sage. Miku mewing, yeah, where she was doing like the Riz face in that comic. That was a shirt Sage was wearing at the time. Zavok and Zaz, yeah. I'm actually still gonna keep Shadow and die in a flaming pit over at the front because I especially feel that way. Not because he's closer to climbing up these tiers. No, because I especially feel this way for Shadow. But Zavok and Zaz are not far behind. They're boring. Zavok is the best one out of the Deadly Six. And Ian Flynn actually handles him really well, where you get to see how good he is at being a villain and how ruthless he is. He's not just some brainless musclehead. He's very smart, and he's actually pretty manipulative. I like that one part in the Bad Guys comic spinoff, where he's actually slow, where he compliments Starline just to kind of worm his way into his head and let Starline get overconfident, to set Starline up to fail. It was a very interesting moment for Zavok, where you get to see that, yeah, he can handle psychological warfare. Oh, you should go back and check it out. It was very funny, and it was very funny in that Miku comic. But you get to see that Zavok can handle actual, like, psychological warfare. He can set up little tricks and traps, and he is very good at what he does. He knows when he's being manipulated. I almost want to like Zavok, except for the fact that I personally don't like him because he's mean and I don't like him. But I still think with Ian Flynn around, he's one of the better villains, if not for the fact that I still just think in terms of design, he's just so boring. I'm shallow, I'm sorry, but I can't go over. When I look at Zavok, I just can't not see a bootleg Bowser. Very good, very interesting, but he just feels so bleh. Because even when he's good at being a villain, what's his identity? Just being a villain. Is he a villain obsessed with machines? Is he a villain obsessed with revenge? Is he a villain obsessed with replacing a protagonist and becoming them perfected? No, he's just a villain obsessed with killing everything. In a world of more specific, goal-oriented villains, Zavok just kind of falls short. Like, heck, if you wanted a simple villain, that was Eggman for a while. So what niche does Zavok fill that stands out? If you wanted a simplest of simple villains, that's Zavok. And for a lot of people, that could be good enough. But not for me. For Zaz, literally the same thing, but just worse Zavok. He's rowdier, he's more aggressive, he's skinnier, we haven't seen him be good at psychological warfare or smart or use any other means than just brute force. He's even less interesting than Zavok. He's just boring, and I don't know why anybody places him in Crossworlds other than just for memes or because they secretly liked Zaz and they're finally getting their moment. And if that's the case, then by all means, good for them. They deserve their moment too. But this absolute chupacabra of a character is not it for me. Yeah. She's mewing in that shirt. That was such a funny comic. I loved it. Egg Robo. Bottom of the here. Like, this is such a nothing burger character. I don't know why he's here, dude. Who invited him? What team is bro part of? Like, we have Team Eggman with, like, Sage and Metal. I haven't checked for sure which characters are officially Team Eggman, but, like, it could be Metal Sonic and Sage. That would make sense. I don't know why they have Egg Robo, but, like, okay, cool. But this is the character I'm the most ambivalent towards. I just feel nothing for Egg Robo. Sure, he's kind of from Heroes, and that was one of the first Sonic games I had ever played. But like, it's like letting me play as a Koopa, I guess. Like, cool, I guess. But like, why would I wanna? But hey, if anyone likes Egg Robo, sure. Savok is a Mario character. He really feels like it sometimes. He really does. Like, I think even Sega, there's some stuff about Sonic Lost World that apparently Sega looked to Nintendo for inspiration, and that's why they made the Deadly Six, because they literally wanted their own Koopalings. And I think what's the most frustrating thing is that Sega just really wants to keep the Deadly Six around. They haven't been around in the IDW comics for a long time now, thankfully, from what I've seen at least. I'm so glad. But like, there's just such nothing. There's just such nothing burger characters. Like, who wants them? Who was asking for them? Get them out of the game. I remember something funny Ant Dude, a game reviewer, YouTuber, once said. Like, they tease you that they're gonna have, and I'm quoting this to the best of my ability, they tease you that they're gonna have a member of the Deadly Six, and like, they make you think it's gonna be Zavok, and it's just Zaz. It's like, okay, bro, I don't care. No one cares. Stop. Just get him out of the game. And it's like that with the Deadly Six. I think if you want to sell the Deadly Six, just use Xena and thicken her up. Sell her to the Gooners. And that's the most mileage you can get, I think, out of the endeavor of getting people to like the Deadly Six. Just sell Xena to the Gooners. Let them have somebody other than Rouge. And they're the only demographic I can see ever picking up any member of the Deadly Six. That is it. You gotta respond to attacks. And I know anyone can tell me, like, oh, but Yu-nee, this is a kid's game. They can't do that. Like, okay, you got any better ideas? How many people like the Deadly Six after all these attempts Sega has made to push them? Nobody likes them. But except Gooners and who like Xena. Just sell her to the Gooners. If you want anyone to like these characters, sell her to the one demographic that's going to appreciate her. And that's going to appreciate literally any member of the Deadly Six. Again, Egg Robo. I know I finished that topic early, but that's because I just have nothing to say about him. He's a harmless character, you know, like, he's not like the Deadly Six. I don't want him gone. But, you know, I never asked for Egg Robo either. He's a very nothing burger character, but he's very harmless too. Like, if you want him, sure, have him. He's part of the Sonic lore and world at this point. He's been used in so many games. And this like general egg pawn model. It's been used in Heroes. We got things that kind of looked like it in Riders. We got these things all over the place in funny outfits, in colors, and honestly, that would be the best use I think they could go with. And I think it's too late for this, but I'd love it if they could dress up Egg Robo in funny outfits. That'd be cute. You know, like how in colors, he actually, the Egg Robos, depending on where you are, can wear different outfits. They can wear a chef's hat if you're in the Candyland world. They can wear like an apron and a sushi hat if you're in the aquarium world. They can wear construction gear. They can have a pickaxe and a construction helmet if you're on Planet Wisp. So I think that'd be a good use of Egg Robo. I don't know if he has that in the game, but I hope so, because that'd be pretty funny. That'd be kind of endearing, actually. Egg Robo's for the Mania fans? Not even, because he hasn't been used in like any of the classic games. He's in the modern games. Some of them. I love Egg Robo. You know what? Egg Robo is heart. He's a little boy. He's a good lad. Not really, he's evil because he's programmed to be that way, but he's endearing. Make him a marketable plushie. The DD sauce, that'd be fun. Different Egg Robos. That would be, I would like that idea. Sega, I have an idea to sell you. I like how all of my yapping about Xena and the Gooners didn't even get a response from you. Like, that's, I think, I would like to say, and now maybe this is cherry picking, but I'd like to say that that's actually an example of just how little anybody cares about the Deadly Six. It just, like, I bring up that idea, I have a lot of confidence in it, and nothing. Like, that tells you how little anybody cares about the Diddy sauce. They're just so boring. They're just so cookie cutter. They're the most, like, you have all these different character archetypes, but these characters are especially rooted in it and go nowhere. Their branches reach nowhere. They grow no branches, only a trunk. Werehog. This, I have nothing to say about the Xena and Gooners. Or the Diddy sauce. Xena isn't even the sexiest Sonic characters. Rouge and Moggs are... Oh, I know, absolutely, I agree. But it's like, can you think of a different purpose? Can anyone think of a different purpose for any of these characters? Like, I know this is me objectifying and actually being kind of sexist. And I'm sorry, but this is me hardcore objectifying a Sonic character. Any character. And I don't do this very often. But how many uses can you think of, not just for Xena, but literally any of the Deadly Six? Any of them fulfilling roles that other characters don't already fulfill? Like, sure, Rouge already fills the role for the Gooners, but, they appreciate the variety. Nobody is like, oh, get Xena out of here, because every time I've seen any of the Deadly Six show up, I have never seen anybody be receptive to any of them except to Gooners. Receiving Xena well. Like, literally, their only use, their only purpose. I'm going to move on topics, because I've complained about the Deadly Six more than I have about Shadow, and that's actually kind of an achievement for me. Werehog. I don't know what type of character he's going to be as. Probably at the lower end of power. I'm probably at the lower end because he's going to be a power character. If, there are character types here. I like Werehog a lot, actually. I think this is cool. I normally don't like Berserker characters because they're just not likable for me. Their entire, there's more to them than that, sure, but a lot of the time they really are just angry, the character. And I don't like that. I don't think that's very fun or cool. I think this guy needs to take a chill pill. But Werehog is different in the sense that he's all the things I like about Sonic, at least if we're talking about the games. With Archie, they handle it very differently. They make it more like Sonic if he had a Hulk form. But in the games, in Unleashed, he's all the things I like about Sonic, but now he has a Berserker form. And it's cool. And I still have to play Unleashed, but it's cool. He looks cool. Like, sure, these robots take more hits to beat up as a Werehog than they do with just Sonic boosting through them, but it looks cool seeing him grab these things and thrash it around and swing it and throw robots at other robots and like parkour himself around and like literally just seeing him pull some type of Luffy D-monkey shenanigans. It's fun, it's cool, and it's nice to see this character that there's just such a primal rage, not for any reason at all. Not because of revenge, or because he's angry at the world or something. Not because he wants to be the best, just because that's just his fighting style. That's just how he is. But outside of combat, he's one of the nicest characters. And honestly, that could have been Knuckles. But Werehog is a lot of fun, and I'm glad they're bringing him here. And I hate that he doesn't have voice lines. But I want to play as Werehog. I don't know if he's going to be a power character, but I like Werehog a lot. I've been waiting for him. I wanted him to do something. Jazz music. Jazz music, the character. Oh, I sure hope there's no jazz music in my tier list. Dun, 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 dun. But, you know, yeah, Werehog is fun. Now, 9, I'm going to put up kind of high, actually. 9, I don't talk about 9 often enough, admittedly, because another certain variant of a certain look-alike kind of distracts me from him, but 9 is a special character for me. I never really felt like a lot of people feel like they relate to certain Sonic characters, and I've seen Shadow fans be the more outspoken about that because they've understood grief and loss. Like, I'm not gonna throw any shade. I'm not gonna let my hatred pull me to that, despite the things I normally say about Shadow fans. I'm gonna try and restrain myself here, and because this is a sensitive issue. They've understood Shadow's troubles, and they've felt it themselves, and I feel for them. But me, having lived a bit of a nicer, more easygoing life, a little bit. Well, and my problems being different than that, not sharing that same nature, I am not one of those people. I'm not related to Shadow. I'm not related to any of these characters. But 9 is a special character for me in that he is the first literally me. The first Sonic character I would say is like literally me. And no, not really. I'm no gifted student in engineering or anything. But I've kind of felt some similar ways to 9 in some ways. I don't want to go too into, but 9's story is all about trying to open up and giving people a chance and learning to trust, and then finding out all the risks that come with that, all the goods and the bads. And I think 9 is a very underrated character because he's a character who, yeah, you could say kind of goes through a similar arc to Shadow, but hasn't reached its completion, where he gets to see what it's like to have friends, and it's a lot more in depth. He has to learn what it's like to have friends, and all the things that come with it. And sometimes he's put in scenarios, admittedly on the part of the show, where it doesn't work out, and sometimes he feels like he's taken advantage of, and sometimes he's just really confrontational, not necessarily because he's angry all the time, but because he misunderstands a disagreement with hostility. That's what he mistakes it in his mind, because all he has ever been accustomed to and experienced was the latter. Hostility or loneliness. And it made 9 a very interesting character for me when I was watching Sonic Prime. Not only did I relate to that, in the sense that I'm somebody who has to really temper my viewpoints and how I see and feel things and how I receive what other people say and do, and that it's made making friends very hard for me and a little exhausting, and sometimes just downright unpleasant. I'll be honest, sometimes I kind of don't want to do it anymore. It's hard. I have to force myself to receive things differently and see things from a viewpoint that's not really natively a part of me. And I relate to that a lot with 9. He has to learn that stuff, and it's hard, and it takes a long time. But he gets there eventually. And spoiling Prime, I think it's interesting how at first he does all that he does to help Sonic, but towards the end of of the show, he does what he does because all he wants is to be alone. It's literally the only thing he's asking for, and it's why he gets so angry, because everybody's getting in the way of that. He is one of the most underrated Sonic characters, I personally feel, because I think people just generally don't fall with Prime that much. But 9 was the most interesting one to me. So I'm going to be playing as him a lot because I like the 9 a lot. I hope he's not a fly type, but, you know, it's going to be nice to see him. I just hope he has voice lines. Or, like, at least reuse some voice lines from Prime. Something. Come on, Sega. Rusty Rose. Going to be in the heart category. Below the chaotics, but still in the heart category. It's funny I'm putting these two robot copies next to each other. Rusty Rose was interesting. I think you would like Rusty Rose because, as I said earlier, her arc is not that different from 9's. Not that different from Sage's. But again, it's an arc that's allowed to reach its completion. And heck, on her power level, she's even been able to compete with Sonic. She actually beat him in a fight once or twice. Like, Rusty Rose is really cool and interesting. It's kind of adorable seeing her get close to the other Amy companions. Oh, the what? The other Amy variants. And how she reacts to a lot of situations. Okay, so Rusty Rose and 9, along with Chaos Sonic, which was Prime's own version of Metal Sonic, were my favorites. I just liked all of them. They were the most charming and interesting ones. And Chaos Sonic wasn't as fleshed out and interesting. He was more or less just a boss battle for a single episode for them to later reuse for a lot of stuff. Reuse for like 9's own cannon fodder. But you know, they were, but 9 Chaos Sonic was a lot of fun for me. You should look him up. He's Metal Sonic, but if you could talk and all the bad parts about Sonic turned up to an 11. And you could tell Devon Mack, the voice actor, pulled out all the stops for Chaos Sonic, and it was great. I loved it. And I'm so sad that he's not here, and I hope he's in there. Knuckles the Dread. I'm going to keep it brief, because I know the stream's getting a little long. And I guess I kind of left the Crossworlds talk a long time ago, unfortunately. Knuckles the Dread is cool. He's like a rehab patient. He's having to learn balance, and I think he's an interesting character in that regard, because he has to, when we see him, he's not really much of a pirate at all. And his whole problem is that he actually used to be too much of a pirate. He was ruthless, he was mean, he was ruthless, he was cruel, he would actively look for treasure, he would throw people under the bus if it meant treasure. He only had one focus, like it was an addiction. But when we see him, he's calm, he just likes goofing off. He and his crew don't live much of a pirate life. But we get to see him relapse into that lust for treasure, and how far that can go. And I don't think maybe I'm remembering wrong, but I don't think they did enough with Dread to focus on how, I think his whole story is meant to be about internal balance, and, well, no, they kind of did a little bit. His story is about internal balance and learning to calm himself down, balance the good and the bad parts of himself to make him both productive, but not detrimental, peaceful, but not boring. But for me, I wasn't crazy about Knuckles the Dread. I would have liked it if they used New Yoke Knuckles, but that's fine. This one's, I guess, a little more marketable, or maybe more popular. But it was a lot of fun. But he's still going to be in the Wilted Flower territory, because he's just not something I'm crazy about. Miku, I think, is going to be in, like, the back of the heart tier. Or upper, like, on occasion tier. I'll be playing as her because anime girl, and, you know, I'm one of the most, I would actually call myself one of the most casual Miku listeners on the planet. Think of the most casual person who listens to Miku song on a very casual basis and turn that up to like multiply it by 1,000, and that's me. I'm not a hardcore fan. I haven't even read any Miku manga. I am just somebody who adds Miku music to the playlist because it sounds nice and listens to it when I'm on a drive. And I don't even like that many Miku songs because I think her voice is too high pitched. But she's cute, and because anime girl, me like. And it's nice to see that they have, a Vocaloid. They're still kind of bringing in that Sega All-Stars thing, but modernized, which is very, very relevant for the next Who Cares I'll talk about. I don't have much more to say on Miku, just that, I don't know. I think it's cool that she's there. Megu. I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it. Miku with the hard R, and that's all I'm going to say on that. That's most Miku fans, to be honest. Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't believe that. They've got to be like hardcore fans who legitimately like Miku. I've seen them at conventions. They adore Miku. They'll dress up as Miku. They'll have Miku Ida bags, and the ones where it looks like she's opening her mouth because she's going to eat the world's biggest burger. And they have a bunch of Vocaloid pins, and people know stuff about Miku. Like, they like Miku, I think. I'm sure they do. Yeah, there's hardcore Miku fans. Really? Really? I have to be a little skeptical. Like, I should trust your judgment, but really? That bad, huh? Well, they're a lot more dedicated than that. It's not a primarily manga fan. Well, I mean, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. It's just like, there are fans who consume every stretch, every bit of, like, even the supplemental media. Like, say for Sonic, you have fans who played all of the mainline games, all of the handheld games, all of the comics, read all of the comics, every issue of Archie and IDW and Fleetway comics, and, all that stuff. You have those die-hard fans. Like, I thought Miku fans were going to be something like that, like primarily main core Miku fans and stuff. Miku's also kind of a public domain character in a way. Everyone can use her voice. I mean, that's true. But, like, I thought there was going to be a lot of people that were like, oh yeah, I know this thing and that thing about her, and I read that, and I was... Do not speak of the old text to me, which I was there when Shota Island was written. I cannot do things with my voice. I'm dehydrated. But yeah, I'm going to play as Miku. Bottom of heart tier, but she's still there. Because, anime girl cute. Who knows? Maybe I'll play as her more when Crossworlds come out. And I'll have 2 anime girls to choose from. The little one and the little big one. Also, you got your wish. Blaze is no longer at the bottom of Wilting Flower tier. The little one being Sage? Yeah. Sage, little one, little big one, Miku. And I say little big one because, she's like skinny and probably short and flat chested, but she's bigger than Sage, so, still little big. I would say the big one if we got like Luca or something. Or Teto. Come on, modders. Give me that Teto. Give me that BVW Teto mod with extra jiggle physics. We'll never get that, but like, I would pay good money for it. And you know what? I don't care. I don't care. Like, oh, it's a kid's game. It's a kid's... Like, okay. And they're not going to see it. So, I'm the only one who's going to see it. The second I hear your child's voice interrupting my BBW Teto Crossworlds Goon Sesh, I'm muting that child. In fact, I am vote kicking him for being whatever the term is for the derogatory term is for child. I'm vote kicking that little brat. No, little whatever the common name is for children these days. I do not want to hear about the cappuccino assassino. You're interrupting my jiggling Tedo. It'd be hilarious if they put Tedo in the mark. That would be pretty funny. Like, just imagine. So now we're at the DLC characters. Ichiban. At the bottom. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Joey-kun, if you ever watch this. Like, don't get me wrong. Ichiban is a real one. Hardcore, straight up. The GOAT. He is great. But I just haven't played Like a Dragon. I don't play the Yakuza games. I'm not as personally attached to Ichiban or anything about Yakuza. He's a great character, don't get me wrong. But he's just not somebody I'm inclined to play. And with the lack of voice lines for him, the fact that they couldn't even hire somebody to sound kind of like Ichiban and just like keep him unique as the one only Japanese speaking character, which I think would be kind of cool for Ichiban, it just kind of makes it worse for him. He is squarely at the bottom for me. I like Ichiban as a character, but again, he's just not for me. Great guy, but as a Crossworlds character, I think they could have just done just that little bit more. Because I swear I would put money saying that he and Sonic would be such fast friends forever if you let them talk. They have so much in common. And they didn't do that. They had such a great opportunity, and they didn't take that. They didn't take that with Miku or Werehog. They're not going to take it with Nine or Rusty Rose because the guest characters don't get rival interactions, and I kind of hate that. And it makes me a little angry. And with Ichiban, there's some good potential lost. It sucks. Alright, that's it. You're going to Epstein Island. Bro, you were glazing him up before. I was. I kind of was, wasn't I? Like, I mean it when I say all those things about him. But that's stuff that I saw about Ichiban. But in the context of Crossworlds, am I going to play as a character that I think is really cool from a game I haven't played? From a story that I got the Spark Notes version of, that I don't really feel like I deserve to play as? Or am I going to play as a character that I'm more familiar with and just desperately hope will get his own mainline game? I'm going to choose the character I'm more familiar with. He's great. Like, I mean it when I say all that stuff about Ichiban. But that's just not me. Like, or rather, all those things Ichiban fills, those are for other people. And I think that's great. I can see the vision there. But I can see it from the sidelines. It's like a great food that I tried. This was a good food. I liked this. I see why a lot of people like it now. But in a restaurant filled with other foods that I like more, I'm going to order the foods I like more rather than the food that I like a lot that I think is good, but I only tried a crumb of and also will still cost like $25 in this awful economy as opposed to $25 foods that I'm more familiar with and care more about. And now he and Wilted Flower. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Ichiban. I'm just not going to play him very often. This doesn't mean he's a bad character. I think he's great, but this is by frequency of how often I'm going to play them. And again, these emojis are for comedic effect. In fact, there. Just to make that clear. Joker, this is the tier for characters I actively hate. I will never, but like he's almost here, not because I hate him, just because I'm never going to play as Joker. Like I'm straight up, I've never played Persona. The Persona 5, was it? People have gassed up Persona 5 to me, but they haven't showed me like, oh, here's all the great things about Joker. Like I haven't been there for the Joker glazing. I haven't been informed by the shadow government of the Persona 5 fan base. I have terrible food analogy. I'm sorry. I feel like you should have made more tiers. I am open to recommendations, but I also just don't want to make like a million bajillion tiers when I think this is pretty straightforward. Characters I like, characters I love, characters I like, characters I enjoy, characters I feel I am ambivalent towards, and characters I hate. And then like rank them within those tiers based on frequencies. Because I've seen a lot of people make tier lists and kind of like adjust placements within a tier list based on like priority and of certain things. But yeah, Joker, just I have very little to say on him. I just haven't played Persona. That's it. And I'm very happy for Persona fans. Good for them, but I don't feel anything for Persona. He's like either top of rarely or bottom of occasion. I think above Eggman. Because I don't follow at Nights that much. I didn't enjoy the first game. I still need to play the Wii version, which I thought looked cool. Nights isn't a favorite for me. But if I get to play as Knights, I'm going to savor that opportunity because, again, now sure, Knights has been in some of the racing games, some of like the party and spin-offs, but how much outside of that? How often does a Knights game come around? Not very often, so he's a very take what you can get type of character, if you ask me. And in fact, very unlikely. One like shooting a hoop from the moon type of character I want to see. Another Sega character is Rodea the Sky Soldier, and I think his gameplay is actually not that different from Knights, but if it was in 3D. Well, maybe not entirely, but he does this thing where you can like point to stuff, and if it's within range, he'll fly to it. And you can just hold down the A button to boost towards it. But you can also, point the Wii, flick the Wii controller. This was a Wii game, and this was on the Wii U as well. But the Wii U and 3DS versions weren't very good. The Wii version was a good one. Where you can flick the Wii controller and make him fly in towards something from different angles, like from a down angle, up angle, right angle. 15 degrees up to the right angle, all that stuff, and then he'll fly on a curve, and then he'll boost towards it, and then he can still boost towards stuff. I think that's kind of like Knights modernized, brought to a third dimension. I think I went a little off topic, but I think that'd be cool if they had, I don't know, just Knights getting more games, getting a full 3D game, and I also just want to see Rodea the Sky Soldier, like, anything from Rodea the Sky Soldier. I liked Rodea the Sky Soldier. I want to stream it. Like, oh, that's never going to get acknowledged, but if they can just do it once, I'm going to be over the moon. Like, oh, even if I just see him in the background, I will take that crumb. My goodness. I'm glad Knights is here. Feels like the only leftovers from the Sega Superstars era. A little bit. We get left from the Sega All-Stars and Superstars thing, you get a leftover. It's very take what you can get. Like, there's an II car. Remember the monkey from Monkey Ball? And like, Monkey Ball does still get games. Not very frequently, but they get games. I think it's like once per console generation, maybe. II's Banana Car is in Crossworlds. So if you wanted to see that, there you go. I don't know if they'll have II there. Maybe. Probably. It's possible. But you do still get some of like the bigger heavy hitters from the Superstars and like other Sega games. We're not going to be seeing well, geez, the dwarf guy from Golden Axe. We're not going to be seeing Ages, which sucks because I like Ages a lot. I like the Daytona cars. It's fun to play as. We're not going to be seeing like, you know, General Winter. We have to take what we can get with some of these older characters, unfortunately. Add Amigo, no Amigo. Tragic. I actually kind of liked him. I actually kind of started to like Amigo. I don't know. He makes me smile. He's a good lad. My preferred Sega monkey. F. General Winter. F. Willimus. Rest in peace. All of those goats. Minecraft Steve. I actually kind of want to put him die in a flaming pit. I hate Minecraft so much. I hate Minecraft more than I can put into words. Like, not because it's a bad game. Me personally, I think it's really boring, but also just because it's one of those games that just comes off to me like streamer bait, or at least feels to me that way. Even if it's not, even if you can tell me, oh well, you're wrong. Oh well, that's not true. Oh well, that's dumb. Oh, you're being silly. I know that, but that's how it feels to me. That's how I feel seeing a VTuber stream only Minecraft constantly, several times a week. And maybe they stream like, oh, you know, other popular games, oh, your Silk Song, the occasional streamer bait game like, oh, like, oh, I don't know, Peak or Repo, you know, your streamer bait games. But like 9 times out of 10, they stream any game, it's gonna be Minecraft. It just makes me angry. I don't like Minecraft. I really don't. I know this is for future STEM students, future engineers. Good for them. Happy for them. But like, my goodness, my complaints don't run that deep. I just want the VTuber to play a different game. Please. I want the YouTubers to play a different game. And it just brings me back to those days of, yo, what is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We're gonna be playing more Minecraft and showing off the new mods. I got this. Ooh, it's all petable wolf. What an awesome chungus dog. Like, that's what it brings me back to. And don't forget to like and subscribe and give me all your money, please. That's what it makes me think of, and I don't like Minecraft. It's a hatred by association, and I know it's immature and silly and babyish, and I should get over it, but dog, it's all I've ever seen about this game, and every time I've tried it, I've been so immensely bored out of my mind. I do not have any intention of playing these characters, and they don't get voice lines. And their tricks are just, oh, they walk in place and they spin a little bit. Like, that's boring! To have them, you know what, maybe they do something. In which case, I hope they do. But they better. Because if they, literally all their tricks are just, oh, walking in place and they spin. Like, come on. I know these are Minecraft characters. I know they have limited motions and bodies, but please do something. You putting them in die in a flaming pit just makes me think of Minecraft models falling into lava lakes. Into the lava pool with you. No F in the chat. Just type, Steve thought he could swim in lava. Oh yeah, and the developers aren't helping my perception of Minecraft. It's literally just le wholesome chungus animal. Oh, we added a new mob. Isn't he cute? Like, oh my. Unironically, just look to mods for Minecraft. I've heard this opinion so much. I know people like to say, you know, there's rampant autism with Minecraft mods. How you'll have like 20 bajillion variants of copper, but I don't know, man. At least this is made by people who care about the game and are a little more in tune. And like, you don't even have to install the mods, so it's a nothing burger complaint. It's like, hey, I don't want fries with my burger. Okay, well, it's a good thing there's optional. Like, at least the fans making the mods care, you know? Not the devs. Steve thought he could swim in lava. I hate the mob vote. I don't think I've seen anybody like the mob vote. It's all just dumb. Like, when you gotta choose. It's like Valve developers with TF2. Like, oh, we get to choose stuff. Cool. And it's all boring. Like, hey, at least we got one thing to make the developers think. At least gaslight us. Well, not us, as in gaslight fans into thinking the developers care. But, like, it's not very effective gaslighting from what I've seen. We have SpongeBob and Patrick. Real quick, play rarely. I actually kind of want to put them at the bottom of dying in a flaming pit because I don't hate them as much, but you know what? On that note, because I hate these three, I just hate Minecraft more than I hate the Deadly Six. I almost want to put Shadow behind Minecraft. I hate Minecraft so much. But SpongeBob and Patrick, like, bottom of play rarely. I'm about to put them in die in a flaming pit. Not because I hate these two characters, but because I hate the Nickelodeon. It just keeps milking this series. Like, oh, more money, print it, money me, money yes. They go full Mr. Krabs with SpongeBob, and they don't even make it funny anymore. In fact, they make these characters so expressive and over the top that there's some of their facial expressions are actually kind of scary looking. And I've heard these characters are downright scary. Are downright, like, I mean, not scary. Downright unlikable. Just an active detriment to the rest of the world around them. A borderline a criminal. Like, halfway being the Johnny Somalis of Bikini Bottom. I don't know if that's true, but I don't like what they're doing to it. But I also don't have a dog in this race, so I'm not going to put them in die in a flaming pit. Cause, like, I kind of care that much, enough to yap about it, but not enough to make a video essay or whatever. Wow, Knight's profile picture, I just realized it's thick AF because he pushes Eggman out of alignment with the rest of these. But anyway, bottom of play rarely, play never. Ever. Less than Joker. Like, maybe a little over Joker, but, like, not really, because they don't even have voice lines, and that's what makes me really mad. What good is playing as SpongeBob if I can't hear every time he does a trick? Like, come on. And even the models on the map, on the track, don't look good. It's boring. Modern SpongeBob is okay. Put them in die. I'm really tempted. SpongeBob is a series of corpse that's being desecrated. Modern SpongeBob is legitimately trash. My reading comprehension is not very good today. I know that's kind of a normoid take, but it's true, and I definitely agree that the faces are now too fucking creepy. Yeah, they are creepy. Like, why are they like that? What are they trying to do? Make creepypasta faces? Like, you have so many animators raised on, like, Gmod humor, trying to make the next big meme face. Both SpongeBob, it's like they want to make the next creepypasta or analog horror face. Like, they're secretly trying to feed the analog horror fandom. Like, halfway about to put them in die in a flaming pit. Because they don't have voice lines. And again, the models on their track don't even look very good. They look old and yucky, like a lot of models in SpongeBob games do. Like, SpongeBob and Patrick look like they look good until you get used to them and they actually don't look that good. Like, I'm so close to putting them in die in a flaming pit. I think that's what makes it worse is the original creator, Steven Hillenburg, died and passed away. They're going against what he wanted from the series. You know what? Sure. But, like, at the same time, that's not SpongeBob's fault. I mean, it's also not Minecraft Steve's fault that YouTubers are annoying, but I'm such a hater that I'm gonna do it anyway. But, like, almost, but not quite. Not quite. Patrick a little bit, but SpongeBob, she's just barely. He just barely escapes my ire. You will go into purgatory, but I shall not I shan't cast you down into the fires. You have a sliver of good in you. Foster it, else I shall subject you to the same fate as your friend. Do so for your own sake, and then perhaps I shall save him. Pac-Man. Easiest choice of my life. I'm not a very decisive person, but this is very easy for me. I'm not attached to Pac-Man. I'm actually kind of confused why they have, like, the old design for Pac-Man. I guess it's because it's more marketable and not that newer, like, space horror kind of look for Pac-Man and the Ghosts, which I thought was interesting, but yeah, I mean, I guess you can't really put that in a Sonic game. They invited Pac-Man? Yeah, that's not a good Ralph voice on my part. Like, Pac-Man is cool, I guess, but it's, yeah, I don't know. I don't feel anything for Pac-Man. His platformer games do look like they're pretty good, but I never played them either. I mean, I played them at a friend's house when I was younger, but, you know, I don't have them. I don't play them myself. So he's squarely, like, behind Joker. He's on par with Joker for me. Like, I'm just not going to play these three. In fact, you know what? You're right. I might make a new tier list. On occasion, green. I want green to be. No, I'll put in like gray. Play never. And we'll put these four in there. There, I am so ambivalent towards these characters. I feel so little emotion that they get their own tier. And that is the tier list. They invited Pac-Man? We'll watch that right after this. After these messages, we'll be right back. But this is... Where's my... Blah, 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 blah. Oh, Oscar. Oscar-y skr. But yeah, we're gonna post that anywhere, somewhere. And that's the tier list. I forgot to add some emojis here. I didn't want to open up a new tab. But that's the tier list. If you have thoughts and opinions on it, Mado, let me know. But right after I'm effectively done, like, I'm just gonna go over it real quick. I know I kind of yapped on for a little too long. Goodness, 2 hours, over 2 hours of me yapping. My goodness, I'm sorry. I have a lot to say about Sonic characters. Yeah, like all these characters I'm gonna main or like shuffle through. Silver probably being at the top. It depends if there's like a power type. Well, if he's like a fly type, then you know maybe Sage will be a fly type. Like he's evenly matched with Sage. But like it's gonna be a toss up between any of these characters I'm gonna main. But I'm leaning more towards Silver and Sage. It depends on stats. Like this isn't a hard guarantee of what I will and who I will and won't play and in what order. But this is me just kind of yapping and giving my preferences and which characters I'm more likely to play. These characters I like. I'm gonna, occasionally play them, switch between them, take recommendations, see if I can play it as them. If anybody tells me, hey, play as another character, I will dip from, reach my hand into this hat and pull out one of these names. On occasion, Knuckles at the front, because I like giving Knuckles appreciation. In fact, I might even put Knights above Sonic. And Amy behind Sonic, because I've never really felt a desire to play as Amy. I think that looks good. That looks good. Now, just in case I ever want to play as Eggman. But I almost... behind Sonic. Yeah. So I rarely ever want to play as Amy or Tails, but, I'm more open to the idea. It's not a drag for me. I'll play as either of these two. Leaning more towards Sonic, because, I like him more as a character. I adore him. He's my hero. Play rarely. Plays these two sometimes, rarely, maybe, if I have to. These three, but really these two. And then you have the rest that I'm very unlikely to play as, if ever. Maybe I'll play as Ichiban from time to time. Play never. Especially since Ichiban does this thing that I like. If I can... He did a funny thing. If I can find it. There was a funny thing he did in a Japanese video showing off some gameplay that I made a GIF of that I'll send to you. A lot of streamers, they like playing a little GIF off in the corner. Maybe I could do the same with Ichiban spin. But yeah, these are characters I'm probably never gonna play as. I feel nothing for Joker. I just haven't played Persona 6. I'm sorry. Pac-Man, I don't really like the original games that much at all. I'm sorry, they're not fun for me. Good games, sure, but I don't have fun when I play them. The platformers, I think when I play them, sometimes were good, but I, don't have them myself. SpongeBob, it's just soulless now. It doesn't even have voice lines, which is, I think, one of the most soulless things I've ever seen. Like, right off the bat, one of the most soulless things you could have done with SpongeBob. Just not even give him voice lines. I would have taken that over a track. I mean that. And I want to feel like I'm playing as SpongeBob, not, a 3D model of SpongeBob. Die in a flaming pit. Shadow, because, I don't like him. Minecraft as a whole, because I hate Minecraft, and just, it's so easily matched with Shadow. I just don't... I can't stand Minecraft. It's just the streamer slop game in my eyes. Deadly 6. I don't feel as much hate for them as I do for these four, as I do for Shadow and Minecraft as a whole, but like, get them out of the series. Make them go away, or just goonify Xena. Make her public domain, sell her to the gooners, and they'll take her and they'll generously accept her and politely escort her to the horse stables and provide so much lube, so she'll have such a wonderful time with these retired Uma Musume champions as they release their need to breed and the excess seed into Xena. And Patrick, it's like I hate him the least out of all this, but I also, modern SpongeBob is soulless and I don't care about SpongeBob anymore. I want to see Miku Knights the most. They are fun, interesting picks. Knights, he's been treated well, or she. I think they've been in almost every Sonic spin-off or like racing game. Well, maybe not almost, but a lot of them at least. They were even in Riders, I believe. They were an unlockable character in that. And Miku is a very fun and exciting pick. Even though I'm not a big Miku fan, I know a lot of people were excited for her, so I think it's nice to see Miku there. And Sage and Baze, very good fun characters. I wonder if you're gonna get the game actually, because it seems like you're excited enough for at least a small handful of these characters that I'd be surprised if you didn't like take the opportunity to really savor their appearance. Maybe Egg Robo is a 5th. Well, that'd be an interesting fun tier list for you to make. Probably not gonna get the game. I will buy it for you if you want. I'm not even gonna expect you to play with me. I'm just gonna buy it for you so that you can play as Blaze and Knights. And this isn't me bragging, like humble bragging and saying, oh, I'm doing this out of the goodness of my own heart. No, I don't really know. I guess I just want to see you enjoy it. Well, look forward to your streams. Oh, thank you. Ooh, 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Just 2 more weeks. And if I get the pre-purchase thing, I can get it. I can play it early on September 22nd. Oh, almost. It'd be nice. The streams, yeah, I can. Or getting you the game, because like I can get you the game. I will hook you up. I will give you my drug stash. I will give you that drug stash, Muppy. So now, oh, the gift. Okay, yeah, I'll hook you up with some of that coke. Now, real quick, I want to watch a couple of trailers. I kind of had the audio test of this a little bit. But we will look through a trailer or two of Crossworlds and just kind of enjoy this newfound hype that Sonic is finally enjoying and has had coming for a long time. Stream is gonna go on a little longer, but not too much longer. I mean, I don't want to go past 3 hours. And I'm at 2 hours and 28 minutes. I still have to head outside and go check something out and buy something because my slippers are really old and I need new ones. And my good ones shrank in the wash, which was my B. I need some good ones and new ones. Let's enjoy a little bit of hype. Davok, I hate you. Oh, dude, my boy, look at his car. He looks so cool. Oh, I forgot to mention, Metal Sonic has like the coolest vehicles. Or at least he did in Transformed. But like that's the only racing game I know he's been in. Oh hey, that's the starter level board that I think was in Riders. I like Knuckles' voice in this. Just because I like hearing it again. It's hit or miss for me with Knuckles' voice. Like sometimes he sounds cool, sometimes he doesn't. Oh, like the Crossworlds thing? Yeah, that looks like a lot of fun. I like the transformed thing more in, well, transformed, where the track will actually change over the course of the race. But the Crossworlds thing looks fun enough. I really like the customization. Like, there's so much you can do here. I like how one of those boards looks like Mualani's board from Genshin Impact. There, my boy! Oh, there, my boy! I'll miss you! Okay, so... I hate that I have to make an account on another thing, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make a Sega account, I think. I'm gonna do it. Mega Sega account. What? What's all this? I don't know what any of that is. I don't know what you mean. That's just... You know, out of context, people would ask me, why do you have this and this unrelated, but also this? And like, I don't know, because I'm not, like, well, yeah, I know, because I listen to ASMR a lot, and because I like Living Zoo. Miku ASMR. I think she does have it. I'd be surprised if she doesn't, because I used to listen to Yuzuki Yukari ASMR, so if she has that, and Yuzuki Yukari isn't as popular, then I'm confident Miku has at least a little bit of ASMR. YouTube algo is kind of goofy, let's see, which one? Let's watch this one. Now this is a unique thing to her. When you place her on the select screen, she gets her own theme. She gets her own version of the main theme, which is kind of cool. Yes. And I don't know where I can show this off. But I want to, because it looks kind of neat. Bean Machine Kit, ooh. Oh, you got a steering assist. That's cool. Snow Based, is this your game? What do you mean? Oh no, this is a YouTube video I'm watching. Yeah, the game ain't out yet. This is just a video of Hatsune Miku gameplay. Okay, let's just see that again. Look at how happy she looks. What a bloomer. You dare to challenge me? Yeah, this is where the character you're playing as is supposed to respond, but unfortunately, you know, again, guest characters don't have rival dialogue. And let me know how the audio is, if it's anything is too loud or too quiet. So I want you to hear the video, but I don't want to be too quiet or loud over it either. I think that's the announcer from the first Sega All-Stars Racing, so that's pretty cool. Interesting that they're going with that voice again. It's just a shame that they aren't reusing like his personality, where it's really he would make a lot of funny jokes and sassy remarks, and it's kind of a shame that he's not being funny, because I kind of liked that. That was really unique. But what was I saying about Miku? But yeah, there's some cool stuff here. Maybe they'll add in an update. I hope so, yeah. I really hope so. That'd be nice. Like, at least for Miku, just really use her voice bank, you know? Thankfully, she does have voice lines, not rival dialogue, but voice lines. So you can hear her saying like "we" and "woo" and stuff. Event failed! Also, that... Oh my goodness. Bro literally charge punches you. This remix kind of has me going crazy. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, oh, it's so good. Oh, I'm going to hit this song like a drug addict. Like, oh, those synth beats. Harder, Sega! I like that you get to hold 2 items. That looks pretty useful. What happened to Miku? How'd she end up in... Oh, snap. How'd she end up in second? Oh, what happened to the video? Sage been messing around. Something I'm enjoying about this is that the game doesn't... What happened there? Why didn't that hit? Come on, Miku! Come on, Miku! Hey!
Incredible!
There's another neat detail. You remember what I said about that Miku version of the main theme? There it is.
This is only a minor setback.
Like, they're really putting in some extra effort for Miku and rolling out the red carpet for her, which is nice. Such a beautiful voice segment talking about minors. Hey yo, it's Miku. Minor? If you want, we can, oopsies. We can watch another one. We can watch more of this, or we can watch some other stuff. We'll watch Famitsu Tube. See, this is a funny part. We'll go to the character select screen, but we'll show off a little bit of Ichiban.
Incredible!
Yeah, here's where you get to see that Ichiban unfortunately does not have any voice lines. Oh, but something I mentioned earlier that I'm happy to see is it follows the same form, same trait a lot of the Sonic racing games have, where a hit doesn't automatically stop you dead in your tracks like in Mario Kart. You get slowed down, but you don't immediately stop unless you get downright machine gunned with items, which is very nice. It keeps the game moving, which is how I want a racing game to be. Ichiban is so well animated. It's actually really sad. Like, I'm glad he's animated so well. It's just then he does this. It's just a shame that he doesn't get to speak. That'd be nice. The bar for the boost looks really useful. I appreciate that that's something that racing games have been doing lately. They'll let you know the levels of your boost and what you're at, how close you are to achieving a new one, instead of you just having to feel it or know the timing. You get to know it yourself by seeing it. It's very useful. It looks like there's a lot more control over the water when you're in the water sections. And then there was in Transformed, which I really appreciate, because that was a big issue for me in Transformed. It made the water sections very unpleasant to play, because you get so much control taken away from you. Now this track is very impressive. Like, I'm seeing a lot of love for just Unleashed in general. Like, they're putting in a lot of detail for this stuff. Littering the place with the ghosts, putting in the Dark Gaia Phoenix, that's all really cool. I like that. Oh, come on, Ichiban, can he win? Oh, not quite. Come on, Ichiban. Ah, it's too late. Oh, it's Metal Sonic. I thought it was Shadow. Hey, my boy got second. I'm okay with it. Now, just to show it off with the character select screen a little bit, you get to see that theme I was talking about. All the characters share the main theme for the character select. Except Miku, she's... Oh, Ichibani gets his own version too, that's cool. No English subtitles available here, unfortunately. Very nice detail for me, for Migu. And just this one meme video that I want to see. Because I'm gonna end off the stream after this. I could watch all of the trailers, but I kinda don't want to, just because I don't want to spoil it for myself, and the animated ones have Shadow a lot in them. I don't want that. So I'll just watch a meme or two. Just really savor this hype a little bit. Oh? I don't know what that is. I don't know what you mean. I don't...
Traveling so fast, is this the future or the past? No stopping anyone, no stopping anyone. Grab those golden rings, those things will make your engine sing better than everyone, better than everyone. Here we go, time to roll. Here we go, fast like whoa. Here we go, out of control. I'm putting the work, I got my power going berserk. Waste no case, I'm a work, I'm number one, that's for sure. Set your goals.
Yeah, more like how it feels too, really. They should have named this better, I'll admit. It is corny, I won't even lie. Demonetized for Muscular Man.
Oh my god! I'm not even doing a full.
Oh, goodness gracious. There was a funny one. Gosh, Shadow gets so much, man. Like, that's cool, but, you know, there are other characters I'd like you to give to them a little bit. See, where is that one video I thought was super duper funny? This one.
For some of the weird worlds I've seen, I'm ready for anything.
I'm finished. They keep beating your ass! Laser! Oh, shit! What's up, bro? My bro. What's up,
I mean, yeah, it probably was. Laser! PSG. PSG is what has been wishes it could be. It was, yeah, it was probably the video essay. They're comparing the two. Since a lot of people have been comparing Annie and Stocking to Has Been Hotel, just all the Vibsy Pop stuff. And it's basically just like worse, it's basically just worse Panty and Stocking.
Ain't nothing on.
Just fall into a wormhole. There's a bomb strapped to my chest.
Here's a present for you.
What the fuck?
Just cutting him in twain, dude, in twain.
What's up, fuckers?
Where did she come from?
Watch this.
Where did Wave...
What's up?
Wave just kind of appears.
Cutting him in twain, dude, in twain.
What's up, fuckers?
I didn't even notice where she's just...
Watch this.
Yeah.
Look at it!
I hope Tyler is as close to the Panty and Stocking Has Been Hotel. I'm sure she would be. You have to try to be like Has Been Hotel. That's really more like bootleg raunchy Konosuba. Yeah, it kind of is. Good vid, by the way. Should have put Dragon Ball teleports aspects. Actually, that would have been pretty funny. That would have made sense. Because I could not see where she showed up. And I agree, this is a really well edited video.
Man, I'm finna whip this hoe.
Oh!
Man, I'm finna whip this hoe.
This is when it had me realizing that I enjoy kart racers when I don't have to deal with the items. Thank you for giving me Victory Heat Rally. That showed me how much I enjoy racing games without getting constantly harassed.
I was about to say, if I didn't get a single it was gonna be a problem.
There's so much going on here, man.
Only good plays.
You gotta be! What the fuck was that? What the fuck was that?
Okay, I'm just to say real quick, this can be turned into a soy jack so easily. This ghost right here. Oh, hey, there's racers coming into the museum.
Watch out, watch out, watch out! Try something. Let's go!
I'm the coolest.
I got a piece of you. Oh,
Victory peak, absolutely. Like Victory Heat Rally was pretty peak.
I am invincible! Invincible!
Oh no.
That's 1000% a lag issue.
I like where this is going.
Poor Knuckles player.
Get him up, let him get up, let him get up, let him get up. Now it's my turn.
Your bitch ass. I like him doing flips and shit.
Oh, that finger lag. I can't wait to play this game in just 2 more weeks. I should have played the open beta. I was so confident I was gonna want it, and like I do. Now I'm not so sure because the item spam, but like, oh, I want to play it. Like so much fun. Where's that other one? Where's the other one I was gonna watch? Oh. You know what? I think this one. I'm not sure which one it was. I think Test Funny Moments and Memes 2015 was pretty good. I could be watching trailers, but I kind of want to watch these because this is like savoring other people's hype. I hope this is making you feel something for a change, Mado. I know it's just hearing me selfishly yap, but I hope you're enjoying these videos. Oh, Shadow. Why did I stop watching this one? I don't remember. Shame yourself.
Give me a mushroom, let me go! Yes! Move! Hold a second! Who's in there? What the fuck happened?
Oh my gosh, that was crazy. This is gonna be a very painful game. I'm glad you don't... I'm glad you can still move forward. Even if you get hit. They're both good background noise for sure while I work on timelines. Oh, okay. Oh, you're working on timelines again. That's good. I hope you're enjoying it. Uh-oh. Here you go. That... Oh, I see, because it was on her team. So they wasted an item.
Maybe I had engine trouble?
I kind of like the remix for this. I always forget the name of this area. It was from Forces. It was that Casino Zone. But I like that song. I like the remix for it. How are they catching up? Hey, yeah, I forgot something. I love her pose. The pose they give Wave. It looks great. It looks so stylish. Oh, I should have played this game when I had the chance. Instead, I spent it playing Yasuke Simulator.
Did I do that?
Did you just say Syria? Did I? At what point? Already feeling that regret. A little bit. Like, I'm glad I played Yasuke Simulator, but I should have postponed it or something, you know? Or just spend some more time streaming. That way I could have played Crossworlds. I could have done both. And I should have. I might have said Syria, I don't know at what point. Oh, I know what track. I know what kind of track that's gonna be. Uh-oh. Oh. It's gonna be one of those tracks where you're gonna have to let go of the gas button on turns. Oh.
Do it.
Oh, dearest to me.
Come on.
What is it doing? The horn spam is gonna be that's gonna get people vote kicked.
Oh, brother.
Wonder which mains are gonna be spamming horns. I feel like Zaz mains are gonna be the ones who are unreasonably good at the game for no good reason. For no clear reason. That Kirby falling off the turn 3 times is wild, dude. Got a ding. Oh, this remix goes insane. Good. Sonic, it's Amy. She's in the hospital. We're not sure if she's gonna make it. Good! Low-key IRL pilot. What? One last. There are unoccupied slots for the roster, for the Crossworlds roster. And there is still hope for one of them to be infinite. Please, I hope. I hope infinite can be one of them at some point. Like, I know nobody likes infinite, but like, I don't care. They got their year of shadow. They should be satisfied. It's not gonna hurt. We got Zaz. We got Pac-Man and SpongeBob. I don't think it's gonna kill anything if I have I'm being greedy, but just like Infinite's not even a good character. I just want to like Infinite. Please just let me have this. Please, like, let me just have this one extra thing. Or you know, have Rodea, which is extremely unlikely, so I'm gonna put my money on Infinite. Please. Please, Sega.
Get in front of me, bro. Get in front of me, bro. Yeah.
Arigato.
Thank God I looked behind.
Onegai, Sega!
Like, bro, I gave my spike right at the end. Why is there a spike there?
Yo, I put that there. I put that spike there.
Are you serious, bro? Why are you putting that at the finish line, you greedy fuck? You're in first place and you're leaving items to home. You're in first. You're not a real person. No.
Oh, I should talk about the titles. This is Sonic Racing Crossworlds OMT experience. I mean,
Hey, look around. Look around.
the titles are
Look
showing
around.
up, thankfully.
Keep your
So
eyes out for those monster trucks.
I should
Check their
mention
hands,
it.
man.
It's
Check their
from
hands. They got
Mick.
Yo! Check their hands, man. Check their hands.
Asgore me. It's getting so much mileage here.
I'm not accelerated. I'm not accelerated. Yo, you guys got that. That's all yours.
Can't wait to play as Jet and be just such a hater. Jet the Hawk players are domestic terrorists. Oh sh!
I didn't even know those can hit you.
I did not know you could even get hit by those.
That is hilarious.
Fucking crazy.
Man, I could have had such a cool week. Actually, I mean, I could have had a cool weekend streaming this, but I'm not too upset that I couldn't play with friends because I don't have any friends that like Sonic. I have friends, I just don't have friends that play Sonic. So yeah, that sucks.
What the heck?
Oh, this is his. Oh, that's his mouse cursor.
Go, give me go.
Okay, well, she is in the full game.
Hey, they got John Cena in here.
Go, give me go.
This isn't really all that great, to be honest.
Oh, that shadow hates me. That shadow actually hates me.
No, I got black voided. Oh, okay. Monster truck. Okay,
Monster truck was at you.
I just got some bullshit. I just got some bullshit.
Yo, bro, I see you back there, bro. I see you back there.
I'm so glad I was running back.
Oh, the monster truck.
Bro, I was in second place. I get this shit. I get hit by this.
Oh.
Dude, why? I get hit by the drill.
Oh my god, bro.
And I get hit by the monster truck. Are you fucking with me, bro? Are you gonna take the keys to my house too, bro? Just take my car, take my girl too. What the actual fuck?
Monster truck in my hand, dog.
I'm popping this spray one. We are all popping this spray one.
We are all popping.
Oh, there's 4 monster trucks at the start, and they're all on the back. Everyone else is cooked. I love that this exists. Someone in front. It's like, oh, he wants to run over. That Omega wants everyone dead. I'm so glad that actually exists, because now there's an advantage to being at the back. Like, the front positioning sweats have to be scared now.
Fuck, that's me.
I hit multiple people.
Good shit.
Holy shit, we're top. We're dominating. We're dominating. Oh my god. Yo. Oh my god, RJ. Crossworlds. We are locked in. We are Sonic Crossworlds. Oh my god, yo, top 4. No, we want that.
I like how there's so many Jokers and a Shadow in this. I'm gonna be real, I think Joker and Shadow, the players are gonna, like, be instant friends.
Bro. Oh, I robbed him. That was a W.
You actually got first?
I robbed him. Wow, never mind.
How? My god.
Get him. Get Shadow. Get him, Sonic.
I just stole first. I know exactly where to pop this, guys.
Oh, monster, get it.
Hi, Squidward!
You're devious. Oh my god.
Yeah, I got everyone. Wait, what is that? Get that.
Yo, what is that? Wait, I've never seen this one. Dragon Road!
Let's go.
Dragon Road? Oh shit, we haven't played this one, yo!
Not play this.
I love the particle effects. They all look so great here. They're so eye-catching and colorful. I will admit though, this game's an assault on the eyes. There's so much to keep track of.
This remix!
Oh, the remix, dog!
That is remix.
Dude, look at this! Yo, this is so cool!
They even got the Dark Eye Phoenix
That's the fucking Phoenix squad!
setting stuff up for the track. That's crazy. But there's a lot of regard for the series with these tracks, and I love that.
And still managed to get second, bro.
Oh crap, that's the official Sonic account in my chat!
Did I get 3?
What?
Wait, what?
One of his earlier comments was he didn't follow that bum-ass plumber. And I've heard a lot of people say that
I'm so glad they saw me win instead of what happened last race.
that they've switched over from Mario Kart to Crossworlds, and that's pretty surprising.
It's going great.
Good night, Sonic. Good night, Sonic.
Aw, Sonic account is so
I want
nice.
you to know he was talking shit about this game for months.
Yeah, see you, Sonic.
Before you go, I want you to know he was talking shit about this game for months.
Bro, L-Man's behavior. That is L-Man's behavior, bro. But no, bro.
He demands loyalty. Oh, I want to play the Zaz Croc. Well, just a little bit.
Dude, I've seen one little Twitter thing about Mystic Jungle where this guy is doing all this crazy, like, tricking, and it makes me, as an individual,
The Zaz
What?
the Zaz Crossworlds experience by Son of DX. In case you want to watch it yourself.
I'm never gonna trust your opinion on a Sonic game ever. Don't do it to me. My Wi-Fi is good, I swear. You all know why I'm here today. I don't give a flying f about this game. I don't care. Never thought about liking this game a day in my life, but there's one thing that I think truly carries this game
No, it's Sonic Frontiers Revisited Low-Key made me bust all over my stomach.
I just opened it for the first time, by the way, my bad. And that's... What do you mean? What do you mean? What are you talking about? I can't switch my character right now? Do I have to do one online thing with Sonic first? That's the stupidest... Okay, get off my screen, bro. It's the last day. Everybody's already played this. Sonic, Super Sonic, yes! Oh my god, bro.
He's literally here for
I
Zaz.
don't need this, bro.
We found a member of an endangered species, the Zaz fan.
Online, bro. It's the last day. Do you realize how amazing it's gonna be to run online and have to deal with people
Okay, how's that
sweating their balls off playing this game forever? Are you like? Can you hear me right now? Listen, I'm speaking truth. I missed Joker. I actually, okay, hear me out. I did not miss Joker.
Fascinating.
I've played this open beta technically for about 5 milliseconds because my buddy gave me his Steam Deck for like 5 seconds, and I was like, okay, tough. Yeah, that's good. Let's do it. Let's lock in, bro. And I just played online and got my ass kicked in the Joker event. When I say there are sweats, oh my god, you have to listen to me. There are sweats everywhere. Dude,
Oh gosh.
Oh, he looks so good, bro.
Oh my gosh. There's.
I'm bricked up.
Yeah, it's
sorry,
PC
guys.
after all. Oh, there's gonna be so many sweats.
So fucking okay, hey, don't look. Don't look at it.
I can expect to never win a
Why am I
race.
getting the fucking closed beta special? I've seen all of these tracks. I don't need to look at them again, bro. Give me something new. Oh. Don't look at that, bro. No, maybe I need the refresher. I'm not gonna lie to you. Who's in front of me? There are 4 people. There are 3 people in front of me. I can count.
Oh my goodness, this guy's terrible at this game.
I'm learning, guys. I'm trying to get better. Okay, can you check this out? Oh my god, come on, give me some places. One place. All right, bro. Whatever, dude. Sure, I'll take it. Shield, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. And nobody can hurt me now. Oh, this is the one. These bots won't fuck me up. Oh, nope. Okay, just like this. Yep, through here. Yep, just like that. Oh, Mr. Red Ring, don't care, bro, don't care. I'm so fucked. I heard being in first place is the worst possible thing you can do in this. Come on, man. Come on, just like once, just win, just one win. Just one win, bro. Come on. Look.
Yeah, he's pretty dumb. Scared about.
They may be bots, but I don't care. I don't care, because a W for Zaz. A W for Zaz is a W in my book no matter what, bro. I could be playing against a 5-year-old. I could literally be beating the shit out of a 7-year-old in this game. And as long as I was playing as Zaz, I would not care. You still got 2 more rounds, but yeah, brother, if I can win the first round against these bots, it doesn't matter if I have 2 more rounds. It doesn't matter. You're just starting the trial today? It's the day it ends? Brother. Okay.
A little bit, but that'd be so funny if like all Zaz fans were streamers. Like somehow, you know what, that's kind of in character for Zaz. But anyway, that's gonna be it for today's stream. I streamed a lot today. So I hope you enjoyed it, Mato. I hope anybody rewatching the VOD enjoyed this. Good night. Okay, you're off to bed then. Oh yes, me. Thank you so much for coming along to the stream. I hope you had fun, Mato. I hope anybody rewatching the VOD had fun. I know it was a little long, so those might be. But that's gonna be it for tonight's stream. Thank you so much for coming along, everyone. And next weekend we will see. I'm gonna be thinking it over. I'm gonna be looking through my Steam library now that I can uninstall Yasuke Simulator. We'll see. We shall indeed see. It's probably gonna be Warhammer, maybe, but it might also be a What's it called? Pie Made. The Super Pie Throwing, which is a game about throwing pies and maids. So, either way, we'll think it over. It's also free too, which is nice. But in any case, that'll be it for tonight's stream. Thank you all so much for coming along, and from Big Sister, have a good night. Yes, me.